We're rolling. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Back for episode 2 of the video podcast.
Is this
We're
okay.
rolling.
Is this like the same app like that you do audio with?
No, this is just my phone.
Jared's not technically.
All right. I'm gonna start.
This will be on YouTube.
I'm gonna start. Go.
This is not gonna edit.
Get out of frame. Get out of frame.
I'm not in frame.
This is the intro.
Guys, this is the intro.
Hello, everybody, ladies, gentlemen,
Specifically ladies.
specifically gentlemen. This one's for you. Jared is no longer with us. He's in the bathroom right now. He will be back shortly. In the meantime, you can enjoy me talking about random topics that you'll hear more of on the podcast. Queen Elizabeth kicked the bucket. Too bad. We do not care. Tonight, the new season of Cobra Kai just launched. That's exciting. That's how I'm going to be spending most of my free time. Get a load of this. I bought a drone, right? GoPro Karma drone.
So
Freaking,
female
I get it. I go home.
or male end, female end.
All right, I charge that stuff up. I watch it charge
Male
up so I
end.
can fly it. I'm so eager to fly it, and the
Male
flipping.
end. This is number 1.
Could you guys keep it down? The
Sorry.
flipping. Okay, I'm flying it in
can
the
follow what
family
you're saying.
room, and it flies
Plug these
direct.
in, that's it.
I just throttle it up a little bit. It's like a foot off the ground, and then it decides to
So
do
this
one of
one's
these.
mine. I
Meow.
just put myself on
Go
one.
right into the desk,
What do you press?
and
to
I
turn
broke the flipping propeller.
The,
Can
recording?
you guys believe that?
Right here's the
Smash
on
that
button.
like button if you guys
You wanna
can't
plug
believe
in
that.
Apple.
And if you can believe it, smash that
USB
like
right
button
there.
for yourself.
Yeah, I got you.
That's it for right now.
Yeah,
Now let's
right
get into
there.
the real meat and potatoes
Mm.
with the Life's a Mess
Yeah.
podcast. My name's Ryan, and I'll see you soon.
What are you doing? I cannot edit.
You can't edit
He
that?
didn't turn it off.
Frick!
I
You
don't-
can't not even in post?
I don't feel like learning how to edit, so I hope you didn't pause it.
What up?
Haha, yeah, let's go.
I just put my hand to the camera.
Okay.
You can put it in iMovie and just
This is on-
literally just cut it.
This is cinematic mode
On the camera.
camera. So Alex is back too. He was about to strip for his girlfriend.
Oh, she put a
We're recording. Well, if she's not gonna watch, then you can do it for us.
I should have gotten a pump in before this.
Alex, so 3
dang.
people are gonna have to sit on there, and one person's gonna sit
Hey
on the couch.
Pittman, right next to me, big boy.
But Ryan would make me look small.
Okay, couch.
Wait, I get the option of couch?
No, I already choose it.
Frick you. My knee, my LCL.
I should pull the I live here card and be like, just get off.
Ryan,
Do you want it?
No joke,
Okay.
Mason. No joke, Ryan goes right to the side of my knee.
Guys, check this out. Check this out. Notice how small my shoulders are? That's pathetic. If you guys see me in public, spit on me and tell me I have woman shoulders. Thanks.
Woman
That's
shoulders.
Ryan's kink.
But
No.
look at
All right, who wants number 2?
Wait, so how do you sync the audio with that?
We just gotta talk loud.
What are these for then?
For
The audio.
this is the audio only.
No, how do you sync with the video?
He doesn't.
I don't.
He's not technically sound.
So the phone records.
Oh my god. Okay, and then you're gonna upload this separately just to Apple Podcasts.
Just
Spotify
Anchor,
and
which
Anchor.
uploads it via RSS feed to Apple Podcasts.
I got you. Time for it, man. Big dog, big hitter, big stepper. No kappa, street, not a
Rapper.
rapper.
I barely know.
Ain't no regular F-150 disruptor.
Is this your guys' water?
One of them was drank out of. Mason already has it, so you can have one. The other 2 are for me.
Man, it was so much fun, man.
So,
Hey, that's cool.
yeah, you got somebody's gonna have to rock paper scissors for the couch by themselves.
We have to rock, paper, then scissors?
Yeah.
What is rock and paper, though? I know it's scissors.
All right, here you go.
Are
Ryan.
you rocking paper? Oh, bet.
Cock, paper, scissors.
Here, you
He
hang
knows
on.
that one.
Can you
Ew.
hold
Scissors and
So you guys are probably gonna have to adjust yourselves accordingly by whoever gets what mic.
Come on, let's
So-
go.
who's the
Okay.
mic.
rock, paper, scissors, shoot? You suck.
That's how
you grab a mic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rock,
I
paper,
did.
scissors, shoot.
right
Rock,
there.
paper, scissors, shoot. Let's go!
My bad.
God damn it, bro.
This
Mm.
is
He
your
said won't
mic.
be in the camera.
Go on the freaking tiny couch, man. I won fair and square.
Okay.
It's actually a
Bigger.
futon.
Fair and squeezy lemon peasy, man. Right.
Fair and square.
Hey guys, this me.
Once
Is
the
this
pod
on?
starts, I will.
No, dumb.
Test.
Here you go, Alex.
Test the cord.
I think. It's not on yet. I'm sorry about this, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not. Oh, it's not on.
Hey, what are you guys' thoughts on Trump's immigration ban?
I like it.
I'll lock it.
No, real talk. Let's talk politics, though. Let's talk politics.
Oh my god.
Actually,
Pat,
can I have
you-
the couch? Because I'm number one. Oh.
Hey guys, Chris Fix here, and today we're going to be talking how to change brakes on a 1996 Ford Mustang, aka the
Wait, I had that.
Dreadstang. You're sitting on the couch?
Yeah, I am.
You
Yeah.
see?
Number one.
All that rock paper scissors.
Did I plan that all along? Yes, I did.
Hey, put your headset on, boy. Put your
So,
headset on.
here, it'll be
Are we
me,
doing-
Mason, you, Alex.
Pittman, scoot down, bro. For
Just
real.
because of the way that this is set up, so that way it's
Hey,
less
scoot
comfortable.
down.
My charger's over there, so that works anyways.
These are all tangled up. This is how my podcasts go.
Whole spaghetti
Get
bowl.
you
full
guys
of-
a little bit of that insider knowledge.
That's not a word.
There you go.
It's a
Alex.
whole spaghetti bowl full of chords that we got
Yo,
here.
can I have my a drink of water?
Which one would you like? We have
I just want one of the ones that's
Royal
full.
King Spring.
Who is Arlene?
I'll take Royal King Spring.
We have Royal King Spring.
I'll take Royal King Spring number 2. The one that's in your hand. Fuck you, man.
Taking a photo?
So Jared's
Dude, take it.
That's not very loud anymore.
Do it to
No.
it, bro. Alright, guys. Hey, welcome to the Life's Mess Pod. Hey!
Yeah. That's Mess
Life
Podcast.
is messed.
Life is messy. That's what I figured out over life. I gotta sit in the frame.
Alright, Jared Hummer, what are your
We're all
top 5?
combined.
What are your top
Dude, that
5
looks-
favorite moments of life? Go.
Birth doesn't count, although I know that's probably not on there.
Not on the list.
It's my least favorite.
Next.
Can't
I
think.
I can't think of a single one. This
Isn't
is
that
probably why I'm like depressed.
One of my favorite days of my life is probably the day that I graduated preschool. One of my first big milestones, I'd have to say.
Yeah, I'll let Ryan finish. Go ahead.
Yeah, no,
No,
but
it's
like,
finished.
for real, yeah,
No,
I
he
do
doesn't.
always.
Don't lie.
Not always. I really have to focus and
What is wrong with you, you freaking ferret?
close my eyes.
You have a mic for a reason, Alex.
I'm not talking about work yet.
Probably my second
Oh.
most proud moment of my life would be the day that Jared Homer asked me to come on his podcast, be on his podcast.
That's the
No,
second
he
favorite.
came on my podcast.
Yeah.
Do
That's
it
a
again
Cincinnati
too.
version.
Alex Pittman, how about yourself, man?
Bro, why'd you go to Mason first?
I can start. You know,
That's a good idea, because I
Yeah, it is your podcast. bro.
probably like you
Go
know
for it.
just finally feeling like I belong. You know, freshman year of high school or whatever.
Serious answers.
Depression as hell. You know, honestly, probably just graduating and then finally getting to that point in my career where I'm doing what I want to do and I'm like learning and feeling useful. And the day I got to drive my truck like street legal and stuff like that, so that's pretty cool.
Hey, yo, how do you like your job? Tell us a little bit about your job.
So I was on a renovation crew, and now I'm doing plumtritioning.
Plum
I'm
christening.
cleaning pipes.
So is that when you
I hook a hot wire to people's feed water lines.
I was
so
gonna
it
say, that sounds like the best thing.
Electrocutes them.
you ever think of pulling like
That's
the
what I was
old
gonna
the
say.
old classic prank, switch the gas line and the water line,
No.
lock the bathroom door
But
for a hot
fun
steamy
fact,
shower and get
We
gas
were at a
out?
house this week
Oh my
and
God.
they had hot water running to their toilet.
Yo, that's luxurious as
It was
hell.
hot as
man.
hell. No, the thing is like you gotta think that turd would drop in there and then it would just start steaming. and it would
Oh,
stank.
bro,
No,
yeah,
probably
dude,
splash him and burn
boil
your
that
balls.
shit.
It was
Oh,
hot.
no.
It was hot water
No.
too.
Pleasures of life.
It was hot.
Dude, I would pay
water.
money for that. You could like, cause some people run a bidet,
Yeah,
like
that's what
right
I'm saying.
off of
Dude,
their water
that's
line.
another-
You pull it and all of a sudden, oh my goodness, it just burns you.
No,
There's
like a bidet.
Yeah. Don't you push the button or something that
Yeah,
shoots up?
well, they tee into your water line that comes out of your wall, and into your toilet tank, and that water is always cold. And some of them have a heated function, so you have to run that to your sink. Nobody wants to do that. Run hot water to your toilet instead. Scalding hot water. Burn all the germs off your butthole, dude.
There's another house I've been working at. Since I'm on the plumtrician side, I'm at all kinds of houses now. Took a shit. These people had heated toilet seats. It is weird. And I
Really?
do not like it.
It's a little bit like the
you sit
heated-
down and then it feels like you've been sitting on a seat that somebody sat on
I
for.
was
Oh,
gonna say,
yeah,
probably
that's
just sitting on it
yucky.
already.
That's
No.
yucky. I would
It's just
I,
gross.
I,
Yeah.
I would hire somebody to be my seat heater.
Well, and I would
Like,
imagine.
like I
that's
tell them
just-
15 minutes in advance
that's
that I'm
so
gonna have to
gross.
poop, and then they drop their drawers and sit down for me. That'd be good. I would like that.
I would imagine that would be a breeding ground for bacteria.
No,
Oh, no,
actually,
it
actually,
can.
the toilet seat is one of the most clean places in a house.
Actually, yeah, the tabletop is one of the most
Filthy.
bacteria-ridden.
Well, but I'm saying because it's a nice warm environment. If you sit on it for too long, it would be moist.
We're not,
It's
in a bathroom.
gonna be sitting on there for 3 hours a day.
We're
you
talking
know?
a 15-minute session whenever you feel the bowels boiling.
I guess unless you're scrolling through reels or
Dude,
trying to
you
take a
good.
dump.
Yum.
And it's a little bit it's I forget what I was gonna say. It's a little bit like the heated steering wheels. It takes a little bit to get used to, you know.
Yeah.
But then
That's
you're
the
really
thing,
gonna
Alex.
miss it.
I'm too Amish for this.
Yeah, you can leave.
Farmer boy.
Go right home on your horse.
Okay. Uncalled for.
No, my boy had to be shown how to use an email.
Oh my god.
But it doesn't. have email.
At some point, you had to be shown how to use an email.
Hey,
Yeah, like fifth
hey,
grade.
guys, drop your email in the comment section below. We will email each and every one of you. Also, drop your bank account number and routing number. Dude,
Also-
smash that like button
Drop your drawers.
in the comments. Go!
In the com-
For the listeners only, Ryan is shirtless.
Yeah. If you want to get a little bit more of this action, baby, go on to the YouTube. Link in the description of this
I gotta start doing that.
On this
you know, I think
podcast,
that's a good
probably.
idea.
And skip to the what is this 15-minute mark?
Actually, I
Like
gotta get my my whiteboard out so I can write down the funny moments so I can make TikToks.
Hey,
Jared, unprofessional,
boy. You got a TikTok now? I gotta follow
No,
you. Not yet.
no, I'm just gonna put them on Instagram because I don't trust TikTok. Because I listened to
Hey.
Joe Rogan and Theo Vaughn talk about the terms and conditions, and they listen to everything you do.
Hey, Theo Vaughn, my boy.
Yeah, who cares?
I do.
We do not care.
What are they gonna do?
What are they gonna do with my
What are they gonna do?
liked videos and
I
my
don't know.
videos of me fixing
Yeah.
cars? Guys, Ryan Troyer02 on TikTok.
Dude, they'll get to watch me sit on the edge of my bed for like 45 minutes before I go to sleep, just sitting there like I don't know what to do.
Wait, they use your camera?
Wait, you're talking about looking at your camera on your phone?
That's whack,
Okay,
dude.
they
I
can look what I do.
freaking use that on the pooper. They finna see my wee. I don't like that. I mean,
I'm gonna
enjoy
look
the
at my
show,
whiteboard.
I suppose. All right,
It's okay.
yo, do y'all
Yeah,
see that? He
maybe
just
that.
did a flipping
I don't think
backflip
that was
onto
in
the
camera.
bed. What is he doing? Who is he? Wow, she's really good.
What's that reference to?
That is Camp Rock. Go check out that video,
Oh,
folks.
I
She
forgot about
she
that.
fooling over there on the piano, and then the one Demi Lovato go, "Oh wow, she's really good."
stroke drug
Classic.
Yeah, for real.
She was very good in that movie. No, singing wise,
Demi Lovato?
pretty good.
Nah, man, that's all like fake, isn't it? The
Well,
Disney Channel singing.
She was a singer though.
Yeah, but she's also a boy now, so
Is she really?
isn't she? She's really questioning her sexuality.
She also had a
Oh,
stroke,
really?
so it's questionable.
For real? She also used to do damn heroin, dude.
Why do you think she had a stroke?
Cause and effect.
No.
Don't you learn that in college because you're college educated now?
No,
Do you
because-
think you're better than me because you're college
All your
educated?
listeners are going through a stroke
Because
right
she
now.
had a seizure or a stroke, she took heroin.
Hey,
Chill, Mike,
Pitman,
man.
why don't
Oh,
you,
my bad.
Pitman, why don't you?
Come on,
tell us a
Pittman.
little
Act like
bit
you've been
about
on this
your
podcast at
college
least a half
experience?
dozen times.
I've been there for like 3 days.
You haven't had an
Yeah, what's the
experience
college
yet?
experience like at university,
Better than Hiram.
dude?
Hide him?
He doesn't go to Hiram.
No, he's talking about Hunter School. Hunter
Hunter is a very liberal school.
Party
Um,
School, man.
Hey,
Very
where are you
nice
going to school
school.
at, man?
Altman College in Canton.
Altman, isn't that a
Yo,
hospital?
guys, this is Ryan's
It's a hospital.
podcast today.
Yeah, no joke. He was asking you the questions, Jared.
I saw that.
Where were you on the night?
It wasn't me.
All right, Pittman. Anything else about college?
I mean, it's just
That's too bad.
Okay.
Next, we're going to be talking about Hummer's new hobby, which is longboarding. Actually, kind of all of our new hobbies. This is very
Except
exciting.
Mason. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Mason is a little bit unathletic and sort of a bum, if you will.
That's facts.
That's true.
Hummer, go ahead. Tell us a little bit about the longboard life, gang.
It's cool. There's some hot chicks on Instagram that longboard.
Yo, for real?
Yeah, but they're all in Europe. That's the problem.
Democrats,
You
dude,
untouchable.
I swear.
What do you mean?
It's fun. It's fun to find a cool trail and then just go ride it with your friends. Like me and Alex and our boy Jordan McDowell, the Jew.
Broke his
Same
toe.
feet,
The Jewish
broken
McDowell.
toe. Guys, I'm in pain. This is a funny guy.
Hmm.
He broke his toe. while
For
riding.
real?
Yeah, on the
Confirmed
little
broken?
board.
I told him not to ride
LMAO.
it. He insisted, I'm going to ride this,
Broke his toe.
Ride it, breaks
Jordan
his toe,
McDowell, Jordan McDowell, this is for you. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes, West Side for life. Go.
Shut up.
Anyways, it's fun. Like I'm getting kind of knee deep into it. Buying all kinds of stuff. I've got like a $400 board now.
Gang,
We get it, Jared. Freaking money bags.
mine's 90.
Mine's 90.
That's what happens when you build them yourself, I guess.
DIY.
But like,
do it yourself.
Build it yourself.
it's
Stupid.
but it's fun. You can just pretty much go anywhere. Like we just went on a looped park the other day, looped trail, and we
Yeah.
rode around it 3 times. It was a
Yeah,
blast.
and a Karen was
Good
looking
fun.
at us with a really mean face. I think maybe because Jared was playing his music.
I wasn't playing it that loud though.
How do you know her name's? How do you know her name's
I could see in her eyes.
I
No joke. She goes. Literally scowling at me and Cole.
For
Cole and I.
for all of our audio only, Alex just made a very
I don't know.
very snarly face. Yo, a sippy sip.
Mason's gonna
Hold up,
genetically
hold up. Hold up.
genetically disformed.
Hey, yo, everybody be quiet. And listeners, strap in, buckle up, get ready for some serotonin right now. Y'all ready? You bastard. Give me another one. Give me another one.
Get better. I don't like.
Are you gonna drink it,
Grab
Ryan?
me a do. Yeah, for sure. What to do?
Nothing. What it do?
Don't throw that away. Don't throw that away. I'm
Just
gonna take a
open it by
picture of
hand, bro. Hey,
Drink.
fetch me another, bro. I want to get I want to get a good crack screw dooskies for the boys on the YouTube
bro.
dooskies.
Oh, frick! You finish your Lego, Jared. Oh my gosh.
Dude, it's a little cool one, right?
It is
Yo,
pretty cool.
that's kind of cool. Pittman,
I built
Alex,
a BD1 Lego set.
Alex Pittman, why is your arm around me, dude? You have a girlfriend. All right, boys, everybody, shut your mouth and listen to some serotonin.
Oh,
Oh my god.
That was nice.
classic.
Put a timestamp on that in the comments, bro.
Oh,
for
what?
real.
Well, how much? Somebody needs a timer going.
Bro, what the frick?
Dude,
I
that's
am
your job,
unprofessional. Yeah, but my phone's the one recording.
This is for me.
No, it's not, bro.
Do your own. You can.
That
open
was
this
mine,
up.
bro.
Bruh, I cannot
Oh
see it.
my goodness, bro. Dude,
Well, I guess we're gonna have to,
West Side when we ride come equipped with game. We're gonna get demonetized.
No,
Frick, dude, frick.
actually, I'm probably need to think about that now that I'm putting it on YouTube. Frick,
Oh.
dude.
Let's talk about the Queen.
I
Or
hope
lack
London
thereof.
goes into a coup. Dude, we say that, but like, Earth just lost its mightiest defender.
So, I want to
She
know
knew how the dinosaurs died. Don't even lie.
what
She killed
96,
gonna-
100 years old.
is gonna happen. Like, who's gonna be the new queen, king?
It's actually Charles III or some shit like
Bro,
that.
he's not a woman.
He's a man, that's why.
Is he a king?
Yeah.
Word.
He's a prince right now, but he's been.
He's a prince. Do you think that he killed her to get to power?
I think.
I thought about that.
I-
'Cause, she just died out of the blue. Go ahead, Alex.
Oh yeah, it had nothing to do with old age or anything.
Yeah.
Nah,
No,
she-
Shadi had another 50 years under her belt. You know it.
I wasn't-
You
I
know
wasn't-
it.
Listen, she was throwing it back on the side. Don't ask me how I
She
know.
was doing, huh?
I literally get memes on
God,
in
I was
Instagram
get-
about how old she is, and that's before she even died. So
Yeah,
I mean,
that was the point.
There was a kid from Highland who was making a TikTok every day until the queen died. Yeah, no more, because obviously she keeled over, dead,
She-
gone.
it will kill.
What are you talking about, Pittman?
You know.
Next question.
Ryan, how are your socks feeling?
That's what I think about that question. My socks feeling good. They're dry,
I
fit.
felt that.
Actually, These things really whisked up the sweat because my dogs were barking at the bowling alley. It was hotter than piss at the bowling.
Dude, it was bad. And it was just our corner.
Yeah, and we had carpeted walls on 2 of the 4 sides of us. Dude. It was fucking wacky. I know why it was so hot. We were in the corner.
Yeah.
90 degrees.
Damn it.
Wow,
I
hilarious.
hate you.
Well,
And that was a bad joke.
I think we should make this podcast pretty philosophical.
Oh, philosophical.
Philosophical.
Philosophical 3 plus Alex.
Yeah. Rip Lamar. Lamar was supposed to be here tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Got
You know,
called into work.
White Lamar, but he got called into work.
Alarm.
His broad needed him or something. Did he
Actually-
actually get called into work?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
actually.
he-
Oh, I thought you were talking like his woman.
No.
No.
No,
His
I thought he
girl.
had a Suicide Boys concert tonight.
That's tomorrow.
But
Yeah. Never
That-
heard of
That's
him.
pretty dope. They're good.
blah blah dee blah blah dee blah blah dee blah.
So, since my phone is recording, somebody want to look up some philosophical questions? Get that
Mason,
ball
you got it.
rolling?
Mason's always on that freaking research
Phone's
grind.
at 20% charging.
Oh,
The
my
research grind.
20% charging. I have a dew in my hand. I got a mic in one hand. What?
Use the
More
big old
can I
titties,
do?
boy.
Oh, that's the first question. Let's hear. What more can you do, Ryan?
You talking about
Literally
like in
everything.
life?
Should look them up.
Do you guys just sit
No,
on the
let's
edge of your
take-
bed at night and just like stare blankly at the walls, not feeling anything, and just not wanting to go to bed?
No, but I do start the
No, no,
ceiling,
no.
and I really can't feel my part of my back because it's like low-key
So you're-
broken. And like,
Your fused discs at 20 freaking years old.
they're not discs, they're vertebrae.
Same difference. Still on
Really,
your back.
really not.
They're
Anyway,
brand new.
Oh, we get it. Alex is in medical school now.
I knew that before medical school. Anyway,
Maybe because you're to your back.
I
yeah.
think only disc I be slipping is that AC/DC into the damn radio, bro. Anyways, what more can I do? Let's talk. I think
Well,
I can.
You
do
could
more.
grow a mustache.
You could get a woman.
I think I could
Hey,
do
too
more.
soon.
I think I could do more at work, at the workplace.
So I saw up
I
on your
could
wall.
show a little bit more gumption.
I saw
Maybe.
up on your wall in your workspace that you got hardest worker. So how can you do more at work if you're already the hardest worker?
Well, that was on a mission
No, he's
trip.
just hard at work.
That was on a mission trip. And we got back and they handed out awards, and I was actually quite surprised that I got the hardest worker award, or even that they gave out a hardest worker award, because everybody worked hard. So what does that say about the kids who worked their tail off but couldn't keep up with me, the hardest worker? Does that make them feel
So-
as though they were not helpful on the mission trip? I feel like it does. I think it's very uncalled
You
for.
were
And
hard
that
on
was
the kids.
and that was
They were
and
just
that was
nervous.
and that was the last year that they gave out that award.
Nobody could top you.
Oh,
We're
of
just a
course
force
not.
to be reckoned with.
I wish I wish somebody could top me, but nobody's good enough.
I wanted to
That's fine.
Ryan,
That's
can
why I
top
was the
you.
hardest worker, dude. Nobody.
I-
They kept trying to top me, but they couldn't.
If you'd
I
like
was
us to
hardest
try,
the
Ryan,
whole time.
if you'd like us to try, we could all three of us at the same time top you.
Ayo.
I don't think that's possible.
Cut the cameras.
No, keep them on. Let's
These
upload
guys
this somewhere
wild.
else.
There's
bro.
children watching this.
Alright,
Probably
anyway.
We could make some money out of this.
We got some money off Ryan charging for our services.
I just made a desk as well, by the way. I used 1/8" square tubing. And
Everybody point and laugh at the camera.
I welded it all together. I got a
You
little
welded wood?
I
Dude,
got
how'd
a
you
little
do
bit.
that?
I got a little bit of a sunburn on
nails.
my arm here, and now it's peeling because of the welding. And then I made a top as well. I got.
So
I,
not some.
I
Dude,
got
you
top,
made a top?
Made top. I did
So you
top.
can, so you can
I-
make a top, but you
I
can't get
glued
top?
top. I made the
Top.
top, the desk top.
How would you
the
spell out, Ryan?
the little platform
focus.
thing that goes
Oh.
on the upside of the desk that you write on and whatnot. I made
Hey
that.
Ryan,
It's called
I'm really enjoying
It's
the
called
amount
top.
of effort you're putting into this podcast. But you're gonna have to take a deep breath here and allow the other guys to speak.
Yeah, flick you around.
No,
I'm
it's,
loving
it's
it.
the Ryan podcast and
No,
Alex and Mason
no.
are on.
Ryan's
This
a mess
is
podcast.
Jared's a mess.
Jared is a mess. Jared, let's talk. Is everything okay, Jared?
I've been going through a lot lately.
What a dick.
No.
Hey,
What's that from?
that's
What's that from?
Jennifer Aniston and the one other guy
Oh,
Dude,
my
the
sister
guy from Dodgeball.
has been through a lot
Guy from like the movie
of
Dodgeball.
dick.
Classic movie. I watched it a few weeks ago. Vince Vaughn, there he is.
Vince Vaughn's.
Dude, Vince Vaughn's a great actor.
He's really funny.
Honestly, like he's just funny.
Yeah.
He's like a Will Ferrell, but like for adults.
I actually prefer him over Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell pig.
Farmer guy gets that joke.
I don't actually.
Ferrell
Hey Alex,
pig.
Alex, remember earlier when I ripped butt in the?
Oh my gosh. The worst smell I have ever smelled, and I work on a freaking pig farm.
Ever smelt?
He smelt it.
You smelt it? As
He
in
does it.
Minecraft?
As in
He smells it, dude.
gold
Dude, he
ore.
smelted an iron ore bar.
Do you craft a smelting
it
pot
smelled
before
like-
you do it?
Smelting pot theory.
Wait a minute.
Melting what?
That's what it is, right?
The melting pot?
Smelting pot theory.
Stirring the
Smelting
melting pot.
pot.
Do 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 do.
What would you guys do if our government fell apart?
They already
What?
It already had. Yeah.
I would,
It's already
I
I
falling
would live
apart.
how I am now.
So what would you do if our government fell apart in a way where society collapsed?
Live off the land.
I'll wait a few years and see if it happens.
Yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
When
Jared.
it
You guys know in AOT like season like or episode like 2 or 3.
No
the-
spoilers. I just started watching it.
Hold that.
Hold my beer.
Hold my dude.
Hold that.
There's the one
Somebody hold
scene
his hair.
when the giants
The
come
Titans?
in, right? The Titans. And the guy, there's like 2 people in a room, guy and a girl, and he like packs his musket ball. He's like, "Oh, that's good, that'll do." And the chick is like, "What? Are you stupid? That won't do anything." And then he puts it in his mouth and pulls the trigger.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
I was freaking shook. That's what I would do if the government fell apart. I'm
No,
joking.
That's,
I'm
dude, that's
joking.
like season. Or that's toward like the middle of season 1. That's after all of them go through training.
Oh, spoiler!
Yeah, it's like
freaking just tell me the whole
I don't
season.
remember.
Remember
yeah, it is.
during
After, it's the first.
How
the
far have you
It's the
watched?
first wave. Like that's like my last episode. I was like,
what was
frick,
that one district that they fought in a lot?
Come on, dude. Wait.
Shigansha?
No, that's the one that got attacked at first.
Maria?
No, that's the wall.
I don't remember, dude.
But you know what I'm talking about though.
You all-
Yeah,
right?
the
When
original-
they hole
What
it
are
up
you doing,
in
bro?
the castle, and that's when Aaron
Pity
does
wants
his
to
thing.
do. Pity wants to do. Why don't you just ask him like a normal person?
Because we're on the mic, and now it's awkward.
Oh,
I think you made it awkward by not asking.
I guess.
Let us know in the
I'll
comments
do
if
your
Pittman was
hard work
awkward
for
there
you,
or
Pittman.
not.
We're gonna put a poll up on the Instagram to see if Pittman is awkward or not there or
I drank my duo shake too fast. Now I got a
I
tummy ache.
not. Dude, if that's giving you something, don't do what I did before the bowling alley.
If the society actually went
Oh.
into shambles, I would continue playing video games. I wouldn't do anything different.
Big.
I'd probably go build a cabin somewhere out in the woods and then just chop all the trees down within a 200-yard radius. You know, so you can see anybody coming.
Nah,
Live off
I'm-
the land.
Yeah, I'm straight up living off the land, bro. Frick, give me my plow. Give me like 1 seed of corn. I'll make that stuff
You're
double,
one
triple.
seed of corn.
You know, I'll take 2 seeds corn and just take a better chance.
Get the frick away from me. Yo,
I hope the fan is not bothering you guys as the listeners, because like it is hot as heck in this room. You see all these new
I'm
lights?
kind of cold.
They're all iridescent lights, and they produce a lot of
That's a big word.
iridescent.
What does that mean?
It's that type of light bulb. It's produced by heat, not just whatever the heck LEDs are.
What's that?
You
one
know,
song?
like what we learned in middle school.
Yeah,
LSD.
I wish. Yo, imagine if Stutz just came in one day and just gave us all LSD.
What?
This is just a trip.
Limited slip differential?
Yeah. Why are you laughing? What's a car thing?
I understand what he meant because I've heard that before.
Oh, okay.
It's like the one thing I know.
What is
I've
a
heard about
limited slip
cars.
differential?
I don't know. I've heard it though.
Explain.
I
You
have no
heard it.
clue.
You must know. He laughed. He must know.
I
Go
have
ahead.
No clue.
Well, now it's awkward.
It is awkward.
I'll spare you guys the explanation. I will not explain it. Look it up.
Wouldn't polytrack be kind of the same thing? Right? My brain's working properly.
Positraction. It's cool.
It's not working correctly, Jared.
No, my brain has not been working correctly since I got a fake disease the second time.
COVID.
Yeah. To all you guys that have loved ones that passed away from COVID, why'd they die from a fake thing?
Yeah,
You know, I'm honestly kidding. Don't take that to heart. I'm so sorry.
that was
That was
terrible.
That was awful.
I'm not kidding.
Ryan means it. I don't.
Ryan's the bad guy
You
here.
heard it here first. I'm the bad guy. Jared is not the instigator. Ban me from the show. Don't ban his show. Thanks.
You know what, guys? Cancel me.
We'll catch you next week.
Canceled.
It's
Yo,
good
Brian,
for-
this
it's
is like
good for-
strike. This is strike 2 for you. You know that?
No. It's good. Getting canceled is actually really good for publicity. Should I say the N word right now?
You already did.
No, I did not. I've never said the N word in my life.
Oh, really? No.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Brr, I got the colds, bro. Where my freaking tarp at?
Cold.
Holy tits, dude. Where is it at? Am I sitting on it?
No, I think it's down here somewhere.
Your tarp?
Sitting on it?
Your shirt?
I took my tarp.
Right there, behind
Tossed
Jared.
on the bed.
Yo,
Jared.
tarp on the bed. No tarp on the bed. You know
Little
what I'm
further?
saying?
Hey, Jared, get longer arms.
Oh. Wow. But anyways, we went bowling tonight. That was pretty fun. The hype died out when the rednecks Hicks left.
Also got really hot.
Hummer, tell us who won the least amount of games.
I think he wants to.
I was golfing.
You were actually bowling and you all were losing while you were bowling.
Didn't golf in a few years.
You look like a small
I golfed
child
like a month
compared to
ago.
Colin.
Good golf?
Now Colin looks like a
It was
small
scrambled
child.
golf.
What does that mean?
Colin like lose a whole
It's
bunch
like
of
one
weight or
dude,
what?
or everybody will hit.
Why
It'll
does
be on
he
a
look like
team
a-
of
why
like
does
2 or
Colin
4.
look like a small child?
Everybody will hit, and then
He's a large child.
whoever
Oh,
hits
because
the
he
shot, you
shaved.
play from their ball,
You shaved?
and then you just
Yeah.
count that shot.
Wow, that sounds fun.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really
he looks
fun.
like a small child down there.
Speaking of shave, our boy Colin shaved today.
That's what we're talking about.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
He looked like a man though. That's the thing.
Looked like a boy, man. Maybe.
Not just a man.
Mm. He looked younger.
I'm trying to think of something like philosophical to ask.
Oh, philosophical.
Just
I
trying
don't
to
have
think
my
of
mic
something
on, my
to fill this
ears
time
on.
on this podcast.
No. We haven't had like a meaningful in-depth conversation as a group.
Hmm.
Remember when we talked about nightmares for like 45 minutes?
Nightmares.
Yeah,
You
that's
were
fun.
actually no, you were asleep.
I might, yeah, that's probably happened one night.
How much sleep do y'all get every night?
It
6.5
varies.
hours. 7.
Like 5 hours.
5 hours. What time do you go to bed?
I go to bed at 10, but my back hurts so bad that it takes me like forever to fall asleep. Then I wake up in the morning at like
What time do you wake
5
up?
o'clock.
5 o'clock? Couldn't do that. I'm content with my 8 to 5.
8 to 5?
Yeah.
Bruh. You have like no time in the day then.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of sucks, but I like to be able to sleep and I can stay up late, do whatever.
Oh, I do the same thing.
Uh,
Kind of.
There's one Joe Rogan episode where they had a sleep expert, and they said that the minimum amount of sleep that you should get is 6 hours. Anything under that leads to Parkinson's and a whole slew of other diseases.
Oh my gosh, my hand shakes so much right now.
I wonder
Yo,
why
can I
you're
borrow
gonna
your
die.
services?
So I wonder why you're gonna die early.
Because
I'm gonna
sleep.
Yes.
Diarrhea.
I bet I'll die after you guys though, because you guys drink
Did anybody
energy
catch my
drinks.
joke?
I don't drink energy drinks.
You don't?
Diarrhea. Diarrhea.
No.
these
He
nuts.
said, "Yeah, my hand shakes." And I said, "Can I borrow your services?"
I get it.
Oh.
It's not funny now that I had to explain it.
A quick poll. Do you guys prefer e-girls or I ladies?
I prefer my lady.
It's an eye lady.
It wasn't.
I ladies nuts on your face. Hey, thanks, man. Thanks.
Props.
Yo, what sound did Cinderella make when she got to the ball?
Ah.
What they said.
They-
Because the ball.
I understand.
No, you
Like
don't.
the dance, right? No.
Dude, we're struggling right. Dude, Mason, you need caffeine.
I just
It's
can't
weird.
think of anything.
You know, you're tired. Like, I can tell.
What are you doing tomorrow, hum?
I am gonna go get my oil changed and then get my.
Whoa. Get your oil changed?
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
don't
me
change my
too.
oil.
Why not,
That's
dude?
what I said.
I don't feel like it.
Wait. Is that
Yes, it is. You want to hit?
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Jared Hummer has a vagina,
Okay.
as in a woman, because he can't change his own Earl. He can, but he chooses not to.
Exactly.
Actually, no.
lazy.
That is actually pretty smart.
What?
If you don't take it to like a quick lube, do you take it to a quick lube?
No.
Yeah, if you take it to
Well, this is the first time I'm getting the oil change in my car.
if you take it to like an actual mechanic or dealership, they'll like look over your car, and then after
Charge
that,
you for it.
no, I mean it's free with a service. nothing's free, but you
What if
know,
it doesn't need a service though?
a service like oil change.
So like,
Oh my gosh, yeah, but
I'm
you
going
just do
to
it.
Lake
It's so cheap.
Auto
Just do
Care.
it takes like 10
and then I'm
minutes.
gonna go to Mazda dealership in Worcester so they can look at my hood and give me a quote.
Nice.
Or just wait till someone backs into you.
Yeah, but it can rust by that point.
No. I'm saying you have an aluminum hood. It's not gonna rust. And who
It's
cares?
aluminum.
Your hood? Yeah, I'm pretty sure those are. I don't know. I didn't knock
I don't
on
know.
it.
Everybody was just like, "Yo, you should get that shit or like fixed." I'm like, "Yes, I know. I've worked in auto body forever."
If it's aluminum, it probably won't be repairable. It then need to be replaced.
Rip. Hopefully it's
I'm,
not.
I'm hoping. I'm really hoping they're gonna offer me money for my car and I can just trade it in for a different.
Yeah.
But it's so nice.
Jared hates his car.
Why would I do that if I can? Why would I if I can get a better one? If they will pay off, if they'll pay off my loan and give me money,
I guess you know,
I think I'd go with one of the SUVs this time instead of the
like a minivan.
no, an SUV,
Mm.
a
An
man
SUV.
Huh?
Pittman
Another SUV.
I'm like, well, if I'm gonna go for that extra space by having the car, and I'm not can't afford to buy a truck right now in this environment, especially to pay for gas.
Yeah, but SUVs aren't that much better.
You said truck.
Yes, they are.
Do you mean pay for diesel
Mm.
fuel?
No.
Oh my goodness, what a freaking queer. This guy drives gas trucks.
Cheaper.
Hey man, you can leave. That's strike 3.
No, Rick.
You're out.
I'm here only for my hot takes. Go next, Pittman. Back to the conversation.
You drive a diesel.
No, I drive gas, but it's not a
Freaking
truck.
Pussy.
It's not a truck.
It's not a truck. You don't drive a truck.
I don't have a truck.
What are you, a freaking female?
Alex, you don't drive a truck.
I know.
I wish I could remember half the stuff I was thinking about this week and just like it came to me. I was like, yo, this would be a really good like little short blip of a podcast. But
Maybe you should write down your phone.
no.
Write down on.
It's called him at
Jared
work.
doesn't
and
like planning.
I'm a responsible worker and I don't want to like hop on my phone for things that are in my personal life.
Just write it
Why
on like
not?
on a stud.
Because I'm a responsible worker.
Right.
I should be worth more wages than what I'm getting.
Write it on a piece of drywall and stick it in your breast pocket.
Bruh.
Oh.
It'd be more like a piece of PEX pipe now, but yeah.
PEX pipe. LOL. Do you use those shark pipe fittings?
We do, yeah.
How do you feel about those?
I'm not opinionated on them yet. I mean, they seem like they do a
Do
good
you
job.
use crimp-ons as well, or just
Yeah. You know, a crimper.
what's your favorite?
A shark bite.
What?
The only thing I know a shark bite for is the plug for a copper fitting. Or, I mean, I guess I think they work for PEX too. I don't really know.
Oh, I guess the shark bites are for coppers.
They're just copper plugs, I thought.
They don't just do plugs. There's all kinds of fittings.
Oh, well, we at Clay's like we only do them for plugs, and then we solder everything else.
Do you? Good. Tried and true.
But running PEX is actually really fun. I don't know why.
Is it? I never ran PEX.
It's super easy. Like as long as you remember to crimp everything and get it on the actual fitting, you're good. You're good.
For show, is there like a certain tightness that you have to put the
No,
band
you-
on, or no?
You got a crimper. You squeeze it.
They just bottom out, don't they? Yeah.
Mason, are you like having a stroke?
No.
Dude,
there's no,
he's
there's
just
no
like-
thoughts going through my mind right now.
Guys, leave a comment down below if you think Mason should take up masonry. Wouldn't that be funny?
I'm good at it in Minecraft, so maybe.
No, you're good at terraforming.
Terraforming.
It's the same thing.
No, it's not. Masonry
really.
is brick.
Oh, so Jordan's good at masonry?
Yes.
Hmm.
Have you
is
seen his build?
terraforming like when you build it in a hillside?
No. Hey Ryan, how about you stay in your lane, we'll stay in ours, okay?
I'm asking, I'm trying to learn, so I
Oh,
can merge
well-
into your lane.
Oh, sorry, we don't care.
Wow, Alex, that's very
Sorry,
inconsiderate.
sorry. Okay, tell you what.
Can we get this guy out of here?
I mean, you
Dave,
can
That's
both,
his first
Dave.
I'm gonna tell you guys you
Dave.
should both leave, but you're carrying the podcast right now.
Dave, come in here, Dave. Dave sits down and
Come
grabs
on
the mic.
in.
Father!
Let's see if he comes.
Now we wait.
Breaks through the door.
You
Will he come
called.
down?
Huh?
Will he come down?
Terraforming is
He
when
might
you
still be
build.
down here. I don't really know.
Well, fuck.
Terraforming is when you build land around other land.
It's just
to
when
make
you
it
build
look better.
landforms customly.
Oh, that's kind of stupid. I'm playing God.
Yeah.
Oh,
So, I might
In a
buy-
video game.
Might be buying hats for the podcast. Like
Yeah.
actually, like
I
I've got
thought
the
that
money.
I thought you were going to.
Oh, I was going to, and then I never got the money
Uh,
because I had too many hobbies to buy stuff with.
my hobby I also have too many hobbies. I need to stop with the hobbies.
Yeah, why are all hobbies so expensive?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I wish work was my hobby because you get to do it every day.
Work is my hobby.
Good for you.
I get paid for it. Also,
I work to support my hobbies.
freaking yeah.
What?
Damn, what happened to Macklemore, man?
What?
Dude,
What?
homie had a hit and
What?
then disappeared. That's
I
the only
did.
one I know.
I'd hit Macklemore for sure, dude.
He's got a couple good songs.
What was the other one? Alex, you know the other one I'm talking about.
White Walls?
No, it's it's like some about a bird or something. It's with
Macklemore? Oh my
It's
god.
with Ryan Lewis too,
white
isn't it?
Bird.
Isn't it with Ryan Lewis
Isn't
too?
it kind of like a calm song almost?
Cult? A cult
kinda-
classic? Revenge of
I
the
can't
Sith?
remember, but there's another. He had a super popular song.
What's the one that's like I can't change? Isn't Macklemore on that one?
Oh, is
Even
it the
if
when I was
in the third grade, I thought that I was gay.
That was
Dude,
that
get
was
the
that was
fuck
Ryan
away.
Lewis.
Third grade? So how does it feel to be gay in the third grade?
I knew that in second grade.
Very good, very dick.
Very nice, very penis.
So it's very column. Very Richard.
Very Richard, yes, very Richard Bider.
You guys have nicknames at work? Well, I guess you don't have a job, but you guys have nicknames at work?
They call me Junior, dumbass, bastard, retard.
I get called idiot, retard, stupid, nut, or oh shoot, what's his name?
Meatball.
Dimwit,
And
meatball. But my favorite nickname is just meatball.
my favorite is Junior. I kind of like him. The old guy will go, "Hey, Junior, come over here, give me a hand." I say, "Okay, Senior." He doesn't like that because he's like a bajillion years old. Seriously, older than the Queen, but he's still living. Queen.
97 or 96 in one day.
Actually, 765.
Somebody called my professor old today in class and he got kicked out of class. It's kind of
Well,
funny.
how old is he?
The girl, she was like 35.
It's a woman professor.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, she's probably on her period.
Well,
What?
he didn't say profess him, he said profess her.
Professor. Yeah.
Are you retarded?
No, I'm retired.
Yeah, he's in college, man. He's not retarded.
Well,
maybe he is.
I don't,
work
yeah, I
with
don't
a guy
agree.
that's
That's why I'm
72-year-old plumber, and we call him the Raisin.
The raisin, because he's so
Raisin, 'cause he's old.
Nice.
So on mechanical, we got the Raisin, the Meatball, Dave, and Austin.
Dave Austin.
No, Dave and Austin. Austin doesn't have a nickname, and Dave's the one that gives everybody nicknames.
But Dave doesn't have a nickname?
No.
Call
not
him
yet.
Nicknamer. Or just the N word.
Well, see, there's another Dave, and we call him Boston Dave
Why?
because he's from Boston.
Does he talk like he's from Boston?
Yes, it's because at first I thought he was just from Ohio and he had a fake ass Boston accent, but no, the dude's actually from Boston.
What a bum.
But nope, not a whole lot of people like him.
What side of Boston is he from?
I
North,
don't know.
west, east, south?
But he's got all kinds of
Would that be,
nicknames. That
corner?
Boston Dave also goes by Dildo Dave, Juju Bar,
Juju Bar. Juju Smith Schuster?
Larry the Cucumber.
Cable guy.
I was gonna say Cable Guy, but I was like, wait a minute, no, it's Cucumber from like VeggieTales.
Yes.
If.
There's Shorty, Phil the Pill, Caleb's a G.
You know that
Shout
song?
out to Caleb. Todrick.
Todrick? Who out there naming their baby Todrick? dude?
Well, no, it's my buddy Todd. But then the
Todd.
one day I was like, you know what? I don't know why, but in my head, like I've just been calling you Todrick.
Todrick.
And then Ian Miller, he's 2D because he's the size of a 2D character.
Me, he's like
That's
skinny,
mean.
thin, flat.
Nah, he was like, you know, being not like cocky in a funny way, you know, like that fake little confidence. I was like, Ian, you're talking a lot of smack for being somebody that's a 2D character, and everybody was like, yo, you're 2D now.
2D's in your.
Yeah, okay.
Next.
I don't have a nickname.
You. What do you do? Tell us a
So-
little bit about your work life.
No, I've already told
He doesn't want to.
I've already.
He doesn't want to talk about how he euthanizes baby pigs.
They asked me at the college today what.
Hey guys, Chris Fix here. I can hear myself through other mics. Go ahead.
Alex, you can continue.
They were. They asked me what I did, and I kept telling them, and they kept asking me to make it more in depth, and I didn't want to.
So you say, no, I don't want to. I don't give consent. Stop trying to force me. This is against the law.
I'm not gonna say that. That's gonna make me look like a bad person.
Why?
Not a nice. Not like.
Say you have a
friendly
HIPAA.
person. A what?
HIPAA contract. You're not allowed to talk about it.
I don't even know what that is.
It's something to do with.
Well, you see, I can't say it if I don't know what it is.
Large African animal. Dwells in water, very
I
strong.
believe that's.
I knew-
Flip a canoe.
I believe
Where
you're
you
thinking
eat
of the one
crocodiles.
so-
Oh.
You can leave.
Lizzo be talking about these men like they want her.
No, right? And they don't.
She'd be like, I think I'm ready to be loved. By who? Hmm? I think he
You know,
might
it's
be the
only-
one. Hmm? Who?
She needs to find some skinny dude. Because you know that's how it always goes. The
No-
real
no
big.
joke.
There should be
No joke.
there should be a weight limit on couples. You can bind their weight
Okay,
and
okay.
you add the
Right.
weights up and there's a
The-
limit.
Wow.
Actually, no,
Okay.
no.
Mason, you're smart. Dichotomy means like almost like two-sided, right?
I've never heard that word before.
Can someone look up the definition of dichotomy?
Prefix di meaning two and cotomy being what was the definition?
Alex is on the lookout. Dichotomy.
You guys
What?
texting is freaking a
What's
woman.
the
over
context?
here.
I'm looking it up,
I was
guys.
gonna say, talk about the double standard of women having this long list of requests from men, and men are just like, I prefer that she's like not overweight. That's about it. As long as she's
You're
got-
a racist,
long as
you
she's
bastard.
That's not about it, but I get.
Wait.
What do you mean?
A division or contrast between two things that
They
are
can't just.
Dude, I was right.
They can't be the
that
only
are
parameter.
represented as being
Okay, but,
almost
like,
entirely
Click
different.
it, click it.
For a lot of men, that's the first. Like, if you're just looking
Sick.
for a woman, you're like, all right, well, I'm gonna look for somebody that's a little bit fit and shape.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
Maybe.
Are you saying like very first?
Yeah, like that's one of the first things you'll
Oh,
notice.
okay.
Yeah.
Because
Because a girl, it's
To be
like,
honest,
all right,
you're
if he
not gonna-
doesn't make, if he's not 6 foot
Would you
tall, has
quit
a
it?
six pack, there's no shot.
Here's the thing though. We do say that, but in all seriousness, there are guys that do prefer that. I don't. I'm saying, but there are guys that do prefer
now,
that.
what do you
No, I
prefer,
know.
Mason?
I was just saying there's a
Men.
dichotomy there because women request so much more of men, and
No, okay, I get your point.
I
though.
prefer men because they're so much easier to take care of.
as long as you
All
know,
you have to do is put food in front of them, and everything's fixed.
it's kind of like that. There's been a post going around. It's like, yo, my girlfriend just asked me if there's a game on, put it on, and then took a nap. What'd you look up?
Boobs.
Breasts.
Get
Bosoms.
pranked.
No joke.
I
So
thought you were gonna click dichotomy. and I
there's-
just say it.
I was trying to, but it wouldn't load.
there's
But boobs did. That's cool. We're chilling.
there's a kid, a really skinny kid in Andrew's class at school.
Andrew's gay.
Andrew is his gay
Okay.
brother.
He doesn't listen to the podcast anymore, guys. Don't worry, he got mad at me.
And
Hey.
basically, he couldn't figure out why there's these bigger girls. Like this kid was always with like bigger girls, and I guess he asked one of the girls, and they said that he has a thing for watching big girls eat.
Oh my goodness.
What kind of a kink is that?
I know what.
I would take a foot guy
A
over
gluttony
that.
kink?
Do you
That's
know?
crazy.
Do you know how expensive that would be? Oh my gosh.
Homie went to the price right away.
You guys think that these guys are just chilling at the food court, like watching chicks? Also, feet guys, they just chilling poolside. They just watching for the toesies.
Dude, that's crazy. People actually are like attracted to feet.
I know it is
I know.
wild.
In all
Feet gross
seriousness,
me out.
that's
It's
weird.
It's weird. Though.
I
Like, it's so weird.
I
Like
can't
it's
get within a couple
it's,
inches of Jared's.
it's a normal
feet.
thing.
it's
Huh?
disgusting. It's just so
What'd you say
disgusting.
about my feet?
I can't
People
get.
actually sucking toes.
Yeah, like
that's
it's-
nuts.
It's so-
Even washed, it's just like gross. Like the foot is gross.
It's
I
just
can't-
disgusting.
I can't get within like a couple inches of Jared's feet.
Right, guys? It's
He,
it's gross.
he
We don't
recoils
like-
from my love. I don't know what the
That
deal
makes
is.
one of us. No, Lamar's the one with the foot fetish.
Jared, why are you tucking them away?
Ow, I'm cramping. Oh no, no.
what you get.
Oh yeah, you're the
Guy's got big calves.
Oh
He
my-
doesn't. He doesn't have the high.
hairy freaking toes.
He doesn't have the electrolytes to keep them.
Should have gotten that
Should have
Gatorade.
got that banana,
I
bro.
drank the
That
prime.
hydration.
I did earlier.
Top
Prime
five prime
sponsors.
favorites.
Orange is number one.
No.
Dude, orange is so good.
Top 10 letters. Go. No,
Z is top 5 for sure.
no. Top 10.
Leisure.
Top 10 N words.
Nicaragua.
Nigeria for me.
I'm gonna go Niger River without the river.
I like knickers like the pants.
Okay, we're jumping the fine line right here.
I don't know any words.
I like
Norwegian.
Norwegian. That's not really big on mine. I'd say
Women
number
from
6.
Norway, just love them.
Number 6
Never
for me
been.
is Norton. Norton has a good ring to it.
Like Edward Norton, the guy
Norton,
who played
Ohio.
Hulk.
Neil
Norton?
Patrick Harris.
You know, Northwestern's pretty cool. You know, that's where Ben Nips is from.
Narcissism.
Nips!
Narcos.
Favorite N word.
Was
Nips.
he on?
Narcotics?
Was he on the show?
Ben Nips?
Ben Nipples.
Heck yeah,
Next.
man.
Next question. Jared, go. We're gonna all think of a random question.
You ever question how much damage your job does to your body?
No.
Oh,
Depends
all
on the
the
job.
time.
Oh yeah, Alex can atone to this.
I'm like, sometimes I'm like, man, should I really put a mask on before I go into this blown in insulation ceiling
cover's
or
over.
attic with raccoon poop? And I'm like, nah, I only got 15 years left anyway.
We do not care. That's what plays in my mind all the time. Forget a work safety PPE. We do not care.
Forget we ball.
Forget we ball. Pittman, do you
Amazing.
care
What? No.
about
Doesn't work,
safety?
man.
Put a
Random
finger
It-
down
it-
if you
it-
care
it-
about
it's your turn.
safety.
It
Don't
depends.
have
It
mine.
depends. One time I almost fell into a tank of liquid nitrogen.
That'll kill
Oh,
you.
that would have been cold.
Oh no, it would have froze my face up.
That's what I'm saying, it would have been cold.
Oh, very
And then-
cold. No. that is when I was like, oh,
You
you
could
know,
have been a
I could
superhero.
I could have done something a little more safe there, you know.
Dude, he could have been like Mr. Freeze from
Put
the
a condom
Batman.
on.
Oh yeah, but then when I come out, I die.
when I
Wrap up and be strapped up. That's what I said.
Yo,
Would
if that
you- I
ever
would
happens,
fall
can I
and
have
I'd
your
break.
Millennium
put a
Falcon?
jacket on though, for real. Put a jacket on, man.
Put a
A
hazard
jacket?
suit on. You'll be good.
Yo, dude, but like for real talk, real, if that happens, like if you just die, can I have your
Jared?
Millennium Falcon?
All my Legos are in. All my Legos go to you and my will.
You heard it here first, folks.
Well, I'm not gonna. play with
Jared's
them.
now gonna find a way to plot Alex's death.
in heaven, I would have all the Legos I want.
There was a guy at my church who was climbing a silo one time,
Okay,
and
nice.
and he was like at the top, and he fell down off of it, and he landed in the pile of silage at the bottom.
Did he live?
He lived,
Wow, what a G.
and now he's a little Amish boy.
Lucky.
I was driving today
He
and I had
planned
my
it.
hand out the window and I was like, yo, what if my hand just got like amputated right now?
Oh, there's a guy. My one buddy has
This guy
a
knows a guy every time.
I know. No
my
joke.
buddy Andy Benderoth. If you're listening, say hey man. He has like an uncle or somebody who had his hand out the window like cruising around on a hot summer day, and a flipping semi-com,
Gone.
gone. Like
That's what I was
literally.
thinking.
Like freaking
like
wild.
a truck, but on the arm variety.
A
Dude,
truck-
I was like, what kind of job can I get after
Decapitated.
this? Like, what does that guy do now?
right-handed.
Draws. Oh wait, he doesn't.
His
Yeah, that's what
right
I'm saying. Like,
hand.
I was honestly like, what kind of
Dumbass.
job can I get if I lose my left hand?
Left hand model.
You can only do so much
Just be
without
lucky
your
your
left hand.
couple wasn't dictated.
Can't be a Twitch streamer because keyboard.
Dude, I couldn't play Minecraft anymore.
Fred!
Yeah, you
There-
could.
there's accommodations for that.
You could stick the controller in your mouth.
Yeah. Bro, you have toes.
Yeah.
Oh, we know. I know.
And really, you can't use the Elytra anyway, so I mean, you wouldn't be missing
Bro,
out.
what do you mean? I learned how to use Elytra.
Okay.
What's your random question, Mason?
What's your skin preference for women?
You can't just ask that.
Yes, you
Okay,
can. That's
okay.
a normal question.
It
Let's
is?
talk about this.
From me?
No, I'm
from
kidding.
my
I'm
skin
kidding.
tone
I'm
and lighter.
I'm genuinely curious.
If I say anything, I'm racist because I can't atone for all the skin colors.
No,
From
it's
my skin
preference.
tone and lighter. I'll set the preference.
You
No.
know what? Good. My skin tone and lighter is.
Yeah, it's a preference.
Little
It's
bit
not
darker
bad to
than
say
mine.
that.
Jared's skin tone and lighter for me.
Heck yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna talk a little bit about
Also, another
not
thing.
not just like skin tone. I feel as much like it's
Preference.
more like bone structure because black people like have different face bone structure, and like same with Chinese. Like it's you call me racist, but it's a fact.
Honestly, Asians
and,
can
like,
be
I'm
kinda
just-
hot.
And I'm just like not attracted to
Asian,
those
kind of very.
face structures.
Like
so
when they're men.
for that reason and that reason only, I'm sticking with the whiteys. or Canadians.
Well, I guess I'm a minority here. because
Canadians
Mason
are
likes
white.
Mason is a collector of
I
rare
like-
arts.
Mason's trying to get all 6 Infinity Stones.
Yeah, right.
No, I literally,
Infinity races
I like whatever, but I prefer
on the racist gauntlet.
like Latinas. Like what's that? Like, it's not. It's not
Mexicano, sí señor.
Ese,
darker. Well, actually, if I had a preference, it'd be light skins.
Puedo ir al baño, ese.
I prefer Redskins. No.
Redskins, like Washington.
Yes. No.
Actually,
Or-
they're just the Washington football team. Thank
No,
you.
the Washington Commanders now. Get it right.
Commanders.
Really?
Yes.
So they're not
Yeah.
just the football
The
team anymore?
Commanders. Yes.
That's a cool ceiling, isn't it, Ryan?
I did a really bad job on the ceiling.
Why did you cut holes?
You did the ceiling?
I rolled it.
Oh, you just rolled it out?
I
The
did the
joint?
texture
Well, it looks fine.
Why
to me.
did you cut holes in it?
so we could access those valves there to turn off the water to the outside.
Are you gonna put stuff over that, like
Nice.
vents or something?
Bro, it's not my problem. I'm not gonna live here forever.
Do you put your lights up? Makes it look like you are.
Ryan,
They're
random question.
command
Go.
strips.
You're a command. I command you to smoke trip. No, I was kidding. Nipple.
Pam and like one of your French girls.
I don't paint them anymore.
It's a good
That was
scene.
the
It's
old
a great movie.
Oh, is that your favorite scene of the movie?
Dude, I say
No,
that
it's
all
probably
the time.
when they're in the water.
Oh, and
And
Jack
he-
froze.
Yeah, when like Jack Frost, like
No.
he had the choice. There was plenty of room, but he decided to kill himself for dramaticism.
LMFAO.
Do you guys ever just be like laying on the floor, shoulder deep in a hole, trying to put a vent back on another piece of vent, or duct on another piece of duct, and then somebody walks in and you're in the walkway and you're just like painting like one of your French girls, and then you slam your shin on some hole that they put in the floor?
All the time.
Yeah,
No,
yesterday.
No, but
It's like a daily
no,
occurrence.
no, but I've crawled under grain bin floors, which are 16 inches tall, and like a
Dude,
foot
that's
wide.
like. That's
So
like
like you get
8
bricked up
inches
down there, you're not
You're
getting
not
back
fitting.
out. You get bricked up while you're down there. You're pinched, dude. You cannot get out.
no,
Bro, that means you're-
crawling through.
Alex, you're hung like a
Speak for
horse,
yourself.
Huh?
bro. I don't got that problem.
Hey, if a Jewish man with a full erection walks into a wall, what part of his body hits
His
first?
nose.
His nose.
You bastards. Hit the nose.
His pocket.
Honestly, if Ryan walked into a wall with a boner, his nose would hit first too.
I'm gonna say it. I got a big schnoz and a small penis. What can I say?
Bro, whenever you talk, it like moves.
It's
Yeah,
more the small
I know.
penis
Look- look at it,
rather
look
than the
at it.
nose.
Everybody will look. I'll turn to the side. This is me talking. You can look at my nose and move.
So like a beak.
Ryan, random question, go.
Toucan.
Favorite engine.
Bruh.
I'll clock out.
I like the Farmall Cub. I don't even know what it's called.
Diesel, gas, whatever.
427 big wheel.
Chevy. Good choice. Is that what you have in your pick 'em up truck?
No, I have a 350 small.
You got a small block, yeah.
I got a 400 stroker sitting out there that I gotta build.
Yeah. What's that going in? Pickup?
The pickup, yeah.
Is your pickup striped or anything, or is it just regular displacement? I see. Dad's got a 354 Hemi. I think so.
Mason's clucked out.
It is bored out, so like closer to 360 probably. But we got a big honking blower on it. That's going in 1940 Dodge Coupe. That's cool.
I got another question. Favorite music lyric right now? Mine's on a bull named To Hell I Go.
Nice. Good song.
Great
Pittman.
song. Open the gate. My beautiful.
Does Pittman listen to music?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Do you listen to music?
Top 5 musics, go.
Top 5 songs?
No musics.
Like genres? What are you talking about, Ryan? What are you doing?
Ryan's having a stroke.
No joke. He's dragging the mic all over his face.
So, Alex, it's your turn to ask a random question.
What kind of men are you into?
Gay. The gay
The
kind.
gay kind.
Hardworking.
Preferably
Oh, no,
the
the sexy variety.
No.
closeted kind.
Let's see here. Let's see.
Alex, he's directing that towards you.
I was getting a cramp too.
No, I just ripped a hangnail off my toe.
Oh.
No, literally ripped.
Classic.
I don't know. I don't know what to ask.
You seen the clown that hides from gay people?
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, I
that.
saw
I saw him the other day.
I haven't seen him. What?
How do you know about him?
Damn it! Oh, stupid!
Oh no, I finished my water.
Ah!
Oh no.
Oh no, it's right here.
Oh,
Oh,
are
thank
you
goodness.
drinking compound?
What?
What?
Cody Mason knows that.
What'd you say?
Oh, you drinking compound?
Yeah. Was that the morning routine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dre Drexler.
What a guy.
Dre Drexler. Rise and grind.
Yo, guy.
Classic.
Yo, Mason. Alex, corner beans.
I'm going corn.
So am I.
Yeah.
What?
Yo, Ryan, Jared, corner beans. What are you thinking?
Like food?
Just corner beans.
Corner beans, man.
Beans.
Facts. That's facts.
No, like corn on the cob smacks. Bean on the cob? No, good.
That's a yes.
Do I need to explain now?
Yes, because I don't know what you're talking.
Did we talk about this earlier, you idiot?
Is it busting it down sexual style?
So I have a
Close.
coworker that at one point was saying, "Yo, I'd eat corn off her tits,
That is hot.
or I wouldn't eat beans off her butt."
Okay, are we talking like corn on the cob pinch between?
Girl, I don't know. I didn't ask questions. But now whenever any coworker or
creamed corn.
any employee sees a attractive lady, it's like corn or beans.
Corn all day. Corn.
Corn.
No. Here's the thing. Are we talking like corn on the cob?
You're thinking into it too much.
I like to think of the cream of corn.
Cream of the crop.
Creamed corn.
Yo, who wants to go to the Suicide Boys concert tomorrow? $50.
Not $50.
One ticket.
I can't even
Did
afford a
Lamar-
bowling night.
did
Dude,
Lamar put
I
that
just
on?
want to
No,
go
Xander.
to a Zach Bryan concert.
Me too. We need to go to one.
Oh, triple D.
Yes.
Here's the thing about Zach Bryan. I love the guy, really.
Don't care.
Where's the butt?
Where's this going?
I feel like everybody now is just like, oh, Zach Bryan this, Zach Bryan that.
Okay, dude. Here's the thing. You can't hate on somebody for going. For
Yeah, I
getting
know. I
popular.
can't gatekeep Zach Bryan.
Well, you gave him up to me, so
I kind of like.
I really
ignore
like my
everybody.
boy Tyler Childers.
you gotta put me onto some of his songs because I've heard he's really good.
Just listen to it. He doesn't have that much music out. If you go on YouTube and look up, what's it called? I never wanna.
Copyright.
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 Brian.
This is a cover by Ryan Troyer, so it's not copyright.
Brian, if I get fined, I'm gonna
Without
charge you.
saying what you mean
You got some weird lips, Ryan.
to me.
Yeah, man, why don't you just-
Look at him.
Calm ugly while you're at it.
There's some ugly lips.
Oh, I farted.
It's called Space
Stop.
and Time. by
Chaotic.
Tyler Childers. Give him a listen.
This is not as chaotic as the one with us three and Cole, in my opinion.
Every one of your pods is chaotic with multiple people.
Philosophical 4 wasn't bad.
That was a good one.
Yeah, when we
That was a good
actually
one.
have conversation, like it's good. Like we have to have some sort of driving conversation, I think.
Nothing's going on in the
Let's
world.
do the philosophical fortune.
Oh, really? The queen just died.
That's-
and you're saying nothing's going on in the world?
Nobody
cares.
Oh my god.
Nobody likes her.
You know, back in the day, the repercussions of the queen dying could have been astronomical.
Yeah, but we're not in AOT days, so
Yeah, I don't think a Titan came and freaking wiped out the face of the earth.
yeah. Get a grip.
That is the only
That's only
foreseeable way that
fake.
she died. Let's be real.
What?
The only foreseeable way that Queen England freaking died is Titan eating her.
Facts.
How much do you guys want to bet that we have 2 world leaders die within their term
What do you mean?
in the next year and a half?
Bojiden.
You will get.
Why are you saying that, Jared?
Because I feel like we're literally watching the president die on camera.
Oh,
slowly.
I thought you meant like assassinated.
No. I mean, I think he's literally mentally just going. He's a
Yeah, it is. It is actually really sad to see Biden. I mean, I don't really like the guy for some of the stuff that he's done, but
I don't
it's
think
sad
anybody
to watch.
deserves that.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think he's just a puppet right now.
yeah.
Well, yeah, that's
Oh,
why.
he
like,
is 100%.
He's not
Definitely.
there, and that's why he can be a puppet.
But he's not even like a
Master
usable.
puppet.
I feel like he's not even a usable puppet at this point.
I think that we should lower the age for presidency. What do you guys
put
think?
an age limit because there's not an age limit. You just have to
Yeah.
be so old to join.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but then we might have a
18.
old, really
Cricket.
good one.
No,
Really good
because
person.
I think somebody in their 20s could easily run it better than Joe Biden.
Maybe
I disagree.
Maybe you have
I
you have to
disagree
prove.
too.
You,
Or
Well,
30s,
no,
not
no,
20s,
actually,
30s.
Better than Joe Biden, maybe.
The
Maybe.
minimum's 35.
they could
It
put
is.
in
Yeah.
So 20s.
They could put in some sort of a
Is it
check.
actually 35?
Yeah.
Why do we never see like 35-year-olds then?
Because they don't know their ass from a hole in the ground, and that's just the way it is. Can you imagine
Okay, well,
how it
what
would be
about Joe
somebody who's
Biden?
20? If
I don't think-
20-year-olds
I don't
were
think he
allowed
knows
in
what either
office,
are.
then any influencer, think Jake Paul in office, Logan Paul in office, the Paul
Logan
brothers.
Paul would literally not
in
be that
office.
bad. Better than Joe Biden.
That would be
Yeah.
terrible. And then anybody with a fan base, Elon Musk, he's getting in there.
Dude, I'd vote for you.
I'd vote for
Mr.
you.
Beast.
I would too.
I would vote for. I wouldn't vote
Why
for.
not?
He can run a business.
No, Mr. Beast be like, hey guys, I'm taking away your food.
Hey, if anything, it'd be entertaining.
Hey guys, I'm
You guys
shutting
were
off
putting-
all the gas stations in the country, and
For a
whoever
world
can
record.
live the longest wins a $15 billion.
We're turning the U.S. into Hunger Games today.
He would actually make a purge. That Mr. Beast would be on that purge stuff.
That'd be awesome.
If you take your hand off the gas station, then you lose.
No.
First one to take their hand, or the last one to take their hand off the gas station.
Gets to live. Solving overpopulation.
Oh my
Mr. Beast style.
This is all going on YouTube.
But now that I think about it, putting an age limit would be.
Well, I think putting an age, like maybe, you have to be younger than 85.
Or at least a test to show that you're competent.
Well, I was gonna say, like,
Which I know there is a test, but
you have to
It's
do it
not.
publicly. You have to do it, like, in front of a crowd.
here's the thing: he also probably had help with the test. There's no
That's
way.
what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
if you do it in front of a public crowd and then you have somebody score it in front of a public crowd while it's being projected up on a screen or some shit like that, like, put so many stipulations in place that it is almost impossible to rig.
Or the vote should be like Mr. Beast puts a poll on his YouTube, and then whoever wins gets to be president. Guys, today Tanner, who wins?
I believe that would eliminate the age limit to vote, and I don't think that's a good idea.
Okay, can we talk about the BS about the changing of the tobacco and drinking laws to 21 the recent years?
Well, drinking's been 21
Drinking's been
since
21 for
1918.
yeah,
Well,
not 1980.
I don't do either, so.
1922?
No, it was like
Like 2014.
21? Which amendment is it?
No, that was
Oh, the
that
18th
was,
Amendment was when they put prohibition in, and then it's like 23rd or something, and they.
No, because my dad was 19 whenever they changed the law from 18 to 21.
Oh.
No,
Yeah,
you're
it's
wrong.
kind of
You can
really
look it up.
unconstitutional
I'm
as
very
hell how they
confident
did
in
that.
No, because my dad was 19. He got grandfathered in. I believe my father was born in 67, plus 20 is 87, so it would have been in 1986.
So, like, when they
Look it up. Are you looking it up?
instituted.
What am I looking up?
When did they?
He's looking
drink
at
law?
Minecraft Instagram.
When did they? When was drinking age changed to 21?
Anyways, the way that they implemented the drinking age of 21 was unconstitutional as hell because it was under the states' rights to decide when they could have that legal drinking age, and the U.S. government stopped giving funding
84.
84.
to the states for like,
Roads.
or something like that unless they put the drinking age at 21, and that's why the national legal drinking age is 21.
That's actually completely constitutional. We learned
No,
about
it's
it in
not.
Gilmore's.
I mean, it's a workaround, but it's technically unconstitutional as hell because it wasn't a constitutional right, which does not give the government the power to do that.
Like Louisiana actually kept it at 18 for a number of years. So then until their roads went to shit, and then they were like, "Hey, actually, it's cool. Y'all can wait to drink."
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
But I
like,
mean,
it's-
think. I can go to trial as an adult because now that I'm 18, I can go enlist in the military, die in the military,
Own
Oh.
weapons of war.
own
literally.
weapons. You can't buy a handgun. You can own guns.
Well, I mean, like in the military, you can, be
yeah,
in possession of
yeah.
literal
But then
weapons
then
of war.
I come home from the military and I can't smoke a cigarette or have a beer with my amigos. That's such BS.
Dude, you get like one more year.
Cigarettes are bad.
No, I'm not upset that
So
I
is
can't
alcohol.
smoke or drink. Like, that's completely fine. I'm just saying, like, it's so. uneven.
Yeah.
Is that a national thing or is that just a Ohio?
No,
thing?
it's national. Like, I think they did the same thing with drinking. Like, hey, if you don't change this, we're gonna take away funding for this, that, and the other.
Well, it's just America.
How
though.
do you guys feel about
Yeah.
our political politic figures being allowed to take place in the stock market?
Well, they literally control it, so
Yeah.
it's just stupid.
I think it's dumb as well. I don't know enough about it to really make a comment on
Well,
it,
it's
but
people with money in general. Like, they literally control it, and they can
Well, and
make
it's
it
like our
crash. They
political
literally did
system is
last
just
year.
owned by some rich person.
What?
Our political system is most likely controlled by a rich party that backs both parties, and then whichever one fits their needs most, they'll put into office.
Well, they really should. It should be more than like a 2. I know it is more than like a 2.
No, it's not. It's a two-party system.
I know some like technically it is, but it's not because
There's
it's just back and forth.
300 million people in the states, and there's 2 legitimate parties you can choose. Because if you pick a third party,
It's not gonna
your
Matter.
vote's not going to matter.
right.
In my personal opinion, they need to enact some sort of thing that a third party always has to be present at the debates, no matter what. So, like, if it's a libertarian, like, all the third parties fight for that spot, but because then that eliminates the whole two-party system, because then that gives that person, that third party, the spotlight, and gives the people, the public, the opportunity to.
That's not gonna happen in our life.
Oh no, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen ever.
Yeah.
Our society will fail and crumble.
Unless there's
before
an
that happens.
anarchy at some point, which won't happen.
Anarchy acres.
I feel like America is on the way out.
I think within the next 5
It's been that way, honestly.
to 10 years, there will be another civil war.
Yeah, I don't know
Unless-
if it'll be in our lifetime, but like I think if you look in history, like Bible times, I don't really know of any examples. I just know, like whenever countries really got into like heavy homosexuality and homosexuality being
Oh, you're thinking about like Roman stuff.
being
Greece.
being very accepted and even pushed in society, and like boys wanting to be girls, girls wanting to be boys, that kind of stuff. That is when it all crumbles. Like
Yeah,
historically
I know
speaking,
exactly what
it's-
you're talking about.
Yeah.
Rogan talks about it all the time.
Yeah,
Like something to do with the fluidity and questioning of gender, just bends society. and I
it's
think
not meant to be. I don't care what you say. It's not natural.
Well, it's mostly because then it derives to other things other than gender and sexuality.
Yeah, because once you change that line of gender and sexuality, then you where does it end with that? Like, I
Like
feel
the
like
spirit,
everything.
open spirit.
Yeah, I feel like everything kind of will lead back to gender in one way or another, be it like a mother staying at home with her child, because mothers are better at nurturing their kids and stuff, and men are better at
fighting and hunting. Like,
fighting, hunting,
honestly,
gathering, working for their family.
Genetically.
If
honestly-
there's genetic differences, and that needs to be addressed, but right now it's like, oh, women and men are the same, they can do everything that the other can. Wrong. Every man and women are designed to have different roles in the household and in the world, and that's the way that I feel it was designed to be. Does that mean that nowadays, like in the modernized workplace, they can't both have the same roles? No, it does not mean that. But I'm saying that
I mean, kind of like for
it kind of
example-
does. Like if you have two people in a coal mine doing the same physical labor, the man's probably going to be able to do it easier than the woman can, just because.
Well, that's like we finally got someone to help us at the sow farm, and she's a woman, but she can't do. It's honestly almost a burden for me to have to watch out for her safety, because I'm like, well, I need someone to help me, but all I have is this person, and I have to watch the sows. I have to watch her to make sure she's not getting ran over, because she can't stop a sow from busting through her, or even when we're walking the boar to breed the sows, I have to go and make sure the boar doesn't turn around on her, because she can't deal with that.
Yeah.
Which when we were hiring people, I was really hoping we were not going to get a girl, not because
Or even a frail man. Like,
Well, yeah.
pretty much anybody that can hold their own against a boar, is what you're saying.
Pretty much because
Or a boar, a sow, whatever.
Well,
Piggy.
both.
I mean, like, my job is obviously not as hard as Alex's, and I'm thinking more so when I was doing the renovation stuff. Like, it's not, it's physically taxing in a completely different way, and I would say it's not as hard as your job. mine's a little bit more skilled, but beyond that, it's not. It's the work is not that hard. But even at that, like, this is no shot on Maria, but like there was a couple times she was like, I almost want to go out on a crew, and I'm like, I don't think they'll hire you to go out on a crew. And like I honestly don't know if she could have done it, because it's like sometimes I'm like, holy cow, dude, this is a lot of work. It's physically taxing, and most females are not up to that. Like their bodies, like you said, are not built for that. And I think that leads back when there was a lot of hunter-gatherer societies, and the men went out, killed mammoths with spears, and the women weaved baskets and picked berries.
Yeah. And it worked out fantastically.
Well,
Let's be real.
That has something to do with that small group dynamic. Like us as humans, I don't think we were necessarily meant to live in the societies we live in with all the information available to us.
Oh yeah.
We were
what
definitely-
everybody else is doing at every single
Like
hour.
what Mason is doing right now is part of the problem.
What?
Being on your own.
I don't have anything to add to the conversation. So.
No, I know. Like that wasn't like a real shot at you, but like I just saw the opportunity to make the point. Like
No, 100%.
yeah.
No, he's
So, like,
taking shots. You should
It's
fight. You should fight a Mason.
you know like 150 people at a time, and they think that leads back to that. At that point, that's when the group is too big. So like, honestly, Wayndale was perfect size for us. You knew
Nice.
some of the people beneath your grade, like beneath your class, and then you knew pretty much into your class, and that kept everything kind of in check. Like, would you agree that? I mean, like it was ran pretty well.
It wasn't like a super clicky school. Like whenever you see
Nah,
like,
the guys
I
weren't.
disagree.
The guys weren't clicking.
no.
Yes, they were.
Nah, they were.
It
there
was
was, like-
clicky, but think about like huge schools like Worcester or like schools like in
Yeah.
No. To be honest,
Huge
there's
cities.
like one click, and it was
Yeah.
the four guy
Yeah.
jocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there was like even I feel like when we were freshmen, like lower classmen, there was like more girls cliques, but I feel like
Nah, all the girls hated each other by the end of school.
yeah, by the end of school they were all abolished, just like slavery for real.
Like there was just
Throwback.
so many handfuls of 1 to 2 girl cliques.
Yeah,
I-
that's just a
that's-
friendship at that
Yeah,
point.
I just don't understand, like, because I feel like
What's
for
your
the most
hand
part,
doing there, Pittman?
this. So
Anyways,
I feel
proceed.
for the most part, guys pretty much get along.
Yeah,
and,
like, well,
and
Well, no,
But-
if you think about like Worcester or something like that, there's just more. It also depends on the area you're in. Like Wayndale, where it was located, it's not a place where people are gonna argue about stuff
Right.
randomly. Worcester, there is a lot more going on there. You know what I mean? Like it's not in the middle of nowhere.
I guess, but it even
It's a
seems
lot
like
more
there's so much.
clubs at Worcester.
It
as
just
well.
seems like there's so much drama between females, like during
That's
like
everywhere.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Why is it so hard for them not
Yeah,
do
to
you
just
guys
get
wonder
along?
if that has something to do with like almost like not genetic competition, but
like competition.
a
for
competition like yeah. Because I
Well-
mean, if we're being honest, like looking back in history, that was the most of the time. Like our age is when most people were getting married
mate. Mhm.
and starting, or not even just necessarily getting married, but like creating their family.
Yeah.
And our hormones rage the most at this point in our lives.
I think they start like a couple years earlier than this.
Well, yes, but like because of that, that's because I wouldn't necessarily say that they didn't like each other, but it might have just been
we're confused.
created.
No,
by,
no,
in a
I
competition.
understand, but like I'm more on the like this age thing. 50 years ago, more than that, maybe kids our age were getting married, starting families, whatever. Now, if you look at like the national marriage age in the States is like upper 20s, like maybe 27 and upper.
So that's what
That's
my,
because
my,
everybody wants to just run around in their early 20s and go get drunk and
Ho-
get
ho
laid
around.
and go through a lot of dick.
See,
And then
Relatable.
and then
no,
they're yeah, like
I mean, my
and then
parents
they-
were in their upper 20s, early 30s when they got married.
Now we're 28, 29.
See, well, I think that's honestly one of the main problems too. That there's not enough what's it called? Responsibility or
Diversity.
what? There's not.
There's plenty of diversity.
There's no
not-
responsibility for your actions anymore.
Oh, yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. You know, and I mean,
I think to an extent that works fine, but there
Well,
are certain things
yeah,
when
but
it gets into.
yeah, but then you have all these people that
There's
Yeah,
another
that-
dichotomy here.
yeah.
Because like we're talking about our parents getting married much earlier or later in life, or whatever, and then like I feel like now it's switched to, at least in our area, people are getting married like a year or
That's
two later.
because that's because if you look at the national marriage age for non-Christians versus Christians, Christians are, taught to settle down, and be fruitful, multiply, and that usually is whenever they're young, because they don't want to hoe around in their 20s. They want to get married so they can have sex. And I mean, yeah, that's everywhere, not just around here, but it just so happens most people around here are getting hitched pretty early,
Mhm.
especially in Holmes County more than Wayne.
And that's something that could be concerning, seeing as how most 50% of marriages end in divorce. It's like you gotta be pretty positive that's your person then.
A lot of these people are getting married after like a year and a half.
Yeah, but the main problem is
Yeah.
nowadays that divorce is an option. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, divorce was something that hardly ever
It
happened.
was frowned upon.
It was pretty much if they cheat on you or anything. Now it's
Well-
like a disagreement. Oh well, I just don't think this is working. It's because it's an option. If it were
Well,
still
that's-
frowned upon by society, then like in the Christian community, divorce you see very very rarely, unless there is adultery going on or something very serious. Like a vast majority of Christians, I'm talking true Christians, not the Christians that say that they believe in Jesus and that's it, don't go to church or anything. Those kinds of Christians are not to be worried about in this statistic, but like I feel like most Christians don't have marriages that end in divorce because they
But I want you gotta
steadfast
think
on
about how
that.
much that other 50% is just unhappy then.
That's what I was about to say. They're 100% unhappy. Not 100%. You know what I mean? Like 50%. That's probably unhappy marriages. Though.
well, you gotta think. I think what it is everyone's so impatient anymore, and they've all grown up to be like, oh well, I've never been said no to when I was a kid. So now, when when I'm not happy with someone, I can do what I want. I can go with someone else, and they can't.
There's
they
a
can't.
swinger culture again. The swinger culture of the 70s is back.
Sexual revolution.
Look, here's my opinion on that though is if that's the type of person you are, I don't have I would never do it. I don't agree with it, but I don't
Oh,
have
no,
a huge
yeah.
problem with it.
Oh yeah.
Like it's
no.
just a lifestyle. I don't.
Oh,
think it's
spread-
terrible.
Spread AIDS. I don't care, but as
Yeah.
long as
AIDS
don't
isn't
spread-
even a problem anymore.
No, but I just think it's ridiculous how, as I said, impatient people are. Because you guys said like one little argument and it's done.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you
Oh
got
yeah.
You almost
It's
gotta,
also like, oh, I'll show you. Like I can go out and get married, find somebody who will appreciate me
Well,
faster than you can. Yeah, it's so.
It also stems from women trying to be equal to men, and as well, I guess I'm saying it from a Christian bias. It says in the Bible, women are supposed to serve their man, but it also says,
I think that verse is abused, by the way.
No. I do too. I know it is, but especially in the Amish community for sure.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it also says that you have to love your wife like unconditional. Well, I guess no one can really love unconditionally, but it goes both ways, and no one looks into that. They just, as you said, it gets abused. But that's also what makes them think that they can do what men do, basically, which is imbalance.
I don't think it's wrong for them to want to do more in our society or feel like, women should be allowed to join the mill, go into all.
They're not doing
ranks in
it.
the
They're not
military.
doing it to help people, though. They're doing it to prove a point.
Well,
That's what the problem is.
No, that's not what the problem is. The problem's not that they're proving the point. The problem is that we have to lower our standards so they can do it.
Yeah, and
That's where the issue arises.
yeah.
What standards in what
I'm
context?
thinking
anything.
more like in the military context specifically. because like even in the not necessarily in the workplace, but like sometimes it'd be like Jimmy here. Well, what's the law that says you have to hire people equally?
Oh,
We learned about it in Witters.
I don't know. It's like
no
you,
clue.
for X amount.
Equal opportunity.
Yeah,
clause or
equal
something like that?
opportunity. Yes.
That's not what it is, but
It is.
shout
Equal
out to Witter,
opportunity
but I
hiring.
can't remember what it's called.
It's
Equal opportunity employer is like what the place of, like you hear that on the radio a
Equal
lot.
employment opportunities.
Gojo is a equal
Yeah.
opportunity
So anyway,
employer.
so it's like
equal employment opportunities.
Yeah.
like say you have 2 employees and you need to get rid of one or whatever, or have a couple. It's like, well, Jimmy's a really good worker, but we have too many men, and
Mhm.
Sandra's is not as good of a worker, and she takes a little bit longer.
Well, Jared, in my business organization class I'm taking right now,
Ooh.
the book says that diversity statistically leads to more successful businesses. So
Yeah, maybe diversity in men. If they have different men in there.
Strong men,
I'm not-
weak men.
it-
No.
it-
It's talking about
no,
differences in
Di-
personality
different-
in general.
Okay,
Personality,
I
not
took,
gender.
What
I took a quiz today. For what were we saying, Jared?
This guy's 3
I was
days
gonna
into
say,
college.
like, what I was trying to say was, is like, because of these laws that they've put, these
joking.
employment laws for equal opportunities that they put in place, it leads to disadvantages in the workplace because the employer has to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like if Jimmy's the better worker, but they have to get rid of Jimmy because they have to have Sandra.
It's unequal opportunities, to be
You
honest.
need-
because, like-
exactly. I'm gonna
like
bring that up.
I mean, it's
example,
equal opportunities for the woman then, but you're lowering your standard.
It's still unequal opportunities.
Are
Because,
you guys familiar with the show Big Brother?
Nope.
No.
Anyway.
No.
It's
I had a
actually a
very
good
good
example.
point.
Oh, okay. What were
Okay,
you
so
saying?
Big Brother, it's a game show where there's like 16 people in a house. Like they have no access to the outside world. They're recorded, and every week there's the head of the household that like puts people up to get voted for who leaves the house that week, and the last person in the house wins. And there's competitions and whatnot. But so last season there was an alliance, a group of people,
Is
working
this kind of like
against
Survivor? It sounds like Survivor.
It's
Similar.
Survivor in one house.
the same network. So an alliance forms of all black people, and it's not like, hey, we are all like-minded, let's go in together. The goal was solely because they're black and they want to have a black winner of the show. So we're gonna go and we're gonna get all the non-black people out. Doesn't matter if they're Mexican, white, anything but black. Okay, we're gonna get them out of the house so that we can have a black winner this year. Now, fast forward to this season that's going on currently. There was a guy who was talking about, Kyle is his name. He was talking about how it happened last year, and he was kind of looking at some of the stuff that was going on in the house and saying, okay, well, we have to kind of assume, since it happened last year, it could happen again, to keep it in the back of our minds. Kind of, I'm paraphrasing. Don't hold me to any of this.
No, you're
People online, but
Real quick sidebar. These are purely our opinions. You can be mad at us if you want to.
Cancelled.
I don't even freaking care.
More publicity.
Cancel me. More power to you. I don't care. I'm gonna keep putting out episodes. I don't really think Spotify will get rid of me. If they do, I'm reaching out to Rogan.
Hey.
Anyway.
But
And also
I
there
was
were
just saying,
people.
don't hold us to this. Don't get mad. If you do get mad,
Well,
screw
we're
you.
always right, so it doesn't matter.
No,
there
we're
was,
not.
there was a black
So,
woman.
okay,
there was a-
Ryan, go ahead.
There was a black woman on the show this season that said specifically she was faced with multiple options to put people up to be voted for, put on the block for eviction. And she said, I'm not going to choose her because she is black. And I said I would not put a black woman up to be up for eviction. Now, okay, at what point does it start to swing the other way? You can't just say not treating a person poorly because of their race is racism. I think equal treatment across all races, not because at that point your race is sort of white people. Because
Yeah, I mean it goes both ways.
yeah, it
Well,
definitely
well,
does, but
well-
it's not being talked about.
Well, reverse racism doesn't exist.
Yeah,
Well,
that is
black
such.
people can't be racist.
Black people
That's
can't
why-
be racist.
Apparently not.
Definitely not. No. Why can't they just be?
This is an issue that's so ingrained in our society that we're not going to be able to change it no matter how hard
It's
we try.
so stupid.
It's not. It's something that no matter how
okay.
many facts you bring to the attention, it's not going to change.
Here's the
way
thing:
things are.
racism goes both ways, and it does.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that.
But they don't. Sorry, okay. Sorry, I'm using they in this context, so I don't have to keep saying people of color. They constantly say that they can't be racist. I have heard black people say they can't be racist,
all
like
the time.
verbatim, because they think they can't, and white people do the same. But it goes both ways. You can't just like one side just can't be racist. That's not how it works.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I mean, I see a lot of like people saying, even like liberals are like, oh well, yeah, all white people are racist, you know, and they're like, oh, so you're racist, and they're like, oh well, no, just like white males.
Exactly.
White Christian males.
Well, that
Literally.
over the past couple of years with like social media culture, that has
that we
Honestly,
need to get
exploded. The white male ostracism is crazy.
to be
And,
honest.
and if you're a Christian, it makes it worse. Like my boy Chris Pratt out there.
Yeah.
Dude, homie gets so much hate just because he's openly a Christian, and it's like, no,
Oh, another,
This is not a
another
problem.
thing. The Kyle, he was a Mormon, so
Uh-huh.
he's from what, Utah?
Utah.
just
Utah?
because he's a Mormon does not mean he's from Utah.
I think he was though.
He
Okay,
was
that's
from Utah.
Yeah,
That's
from a Mormon from
coincidence,
Utah,
not-
so it's even
Yeah.
more
Whatever
of
the
an
word is.
ostracism because he's a white male, and
Religious.
it's automatically racist. But the most important, he let the most important part about this out. So, Kyle, like, it's basically at this point, or at the point that he was having all this like criticism. There's 8 people left in the house, and he made an alliance that ended up being 4v4 on both sides of the house, essentially.
Mhm.
And he was not even on anybody's list to get out of the house. And then these 2 other white people, they heard a month before this. Keep in mind, this was a month before that he told them that in the back of his mind he was thinking about the alliance last year, about the Black Alliance.
Mhm.
They waited a month to tell everybody about it. And
Why
then,
did they tell him?
What?
Why did they tell them?
Because they were going to get kicked out of the house, so they used
Yeah.
the race card. They were white, but they used the race card and then flipped the criticism on him.
It was purely defense.
Which
You're supposed to
it doesn't
destroy the Sith,
it
not
doesn't
join
really
them.
matter to the context of this conversation, but I'm saying that because that week he was not even a target. They said that, and he was automatically the target because they said something that he was
See,
saying
there's
something.
there's no like clarification of facts anymore.
Right.
Or
Well, no, that's what I was-
clarification's not the word I'm looking for, but like
That's what I was getting mad about because they were twisting his words. He said that he wanted to just make sure that wasn't a thing. He wasn't like, oh, let's get the people of color out of the house. He was just
He
okay.
wasn't acting on it.
Yeah, it wasn't acting. He was just saying, what if this was a thing?
he was just being
brought up.
proactive.
Yeah, he brought up the idea that what if the people of color in this house are working together. Now, I will admit he also admitted that he was thinking minorities in general, which is a little kind of fucked up. But they also it is a little bit fucked up. But it's just crazy because he literally is the nicest guy in the world.
We're never gonna have a society where we're not gonna have that thought.
Yeah.
Like, granted, I walk down the streets of Worcester and if I see, heck, I'll go last night. Literally last night there was a little Mexican boy in the parking lot of my occupation.
Yeah.
And he was walking around our trailers, and you know I'm working with a 72-year-old plumber.
Uh-oh.
He's old.
Sounds
The
cool.
raisin, that is. And you know he was inside. I'm like, you know, this kid looks like he's old enough to, you know, do damage. You know, commit murder or something. That's what was through my head. I'm like, you know, I don't want this to be on my conscience
From Breaking Bad, the kid.
Yeah, the kid.
if something happens tonight. So I waited a good 10 minutes until the plumber came back outside and he was getting ready to get in his truck to leave for the night. I'm like, all right. And honestly, like, should that thought have gone through my head? No, it probably shouldn't have.
Was
That
that
probably
thought
wrong.
because he was Mexican, or
Yeah,
was it because he was a meddling looking boy?
A little bit of both.
Walking down
age- the
trail
age
because
of
it wasn't
kids.
white.
I mean, okay, honestly, if he wouldn't have been like looking like he was prying around our tool stuff, I probably wouldn't have thought of it.
Yeah. And I don't think that has anything to do with race. I feel like that is just somebody.
I mean, if it was a
loitering in
white
your
kid, it
parking
would
lot.
have been the same deal.
Yeah, exactly. And that is where we are kind of conditioned to think, oh, well, you see 2 people doing the same thing. And, well, no, I can't use that.
I think I was kind of gaslit into thinking that through our conversation.
Yeah.
But you know, you have a point. Like I would have thought the same thing if it was a white person.
Mhm.
If it was another white 12-year-old kid. 'Cause, I mean, anybody is capable of that after. I mean, when
Exactly.
you're younger.
You're
Yeah.
in your meddling years.
We've heard all kind. There's all kinds of stories in the news nowadays of like, 12-year-old gang.
Shot up a school.
Shut up combo on the street.
Did a drive-by on their bikes.
It's Breaking Bad.
Facts, bro. For real.
It's a Breaking Bad reference.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Season 3, episode
yeah,
9.
Mexican
Dude, yeah,
gangbanger
for real, dude.
shot somebody on his bike.
That
Oh, I forgot about that. That there's more to that. Just dude, strap in, bro. Remember
He
that.
died.
Yeah, but there's more, dude.
That was
Spoiler.
That was a good little bit we had there.
Well, I think that
sleepy.
there's some racism.
I gotta get up in 5 hours.
Me too.
You guys can leave if you want.
Alright, it'll be a solo up.
Yeah, I'll probably head out here too. I'll
Alright.
have at work tomorrow.
Peace out. YouTube. Bye, audio listeners. Bye,
Bye.
Jared. Bye, Mason.
Video listener.
See ya.
I'll walk you guys out so I can close my door because there's a creepy white guy riding around.
I'll
Like,
keep the pod going.
Oh, now, Jared, would you think he's creepy if he was Mexican?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
riding around on a bike, snooping
Yeah, there's
around.
a creepy
So Mason,
guy.
you can hold the fort
I will.
while I am gone.
I play Fortnite. Yeah, there's a creepy guy going around what, Apple Creek or just your neighborhood?
Yeah, my neighborhood. No, it's Apple Creek.
Alright.
All right, Mason's gonna hold down the
People-
fort, ladies and gentlemen. I will be back after I walk these two chads
After these
out to the
messages.
garage.
There's a short
Shut
break.
this off, yeah.
All right.
See you
See you
tomorrow.
guys.
That's fine.
Holy wow. Oh, I got a fist like a racehorse.
Ryan racehorse is up just like a racehorse.
I never won.
See you boys.
I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, solo pod for right now. If anybody still listening, I hope you are. It's been a chaotic episode. I wouldn't have blamed you if you left at some point, because we weren't talking about much for a while, and I apologize. There was not much pre-planning going on, But if you enjoy just us talking, it's a fun time, Some of these pods, they can just go wherever, and I think that that's fun. And I like listening to pods that are like that, so I appreciate it if you still listen right now, because I would still listen to this. I think that those random conversations are so fitting for Jared and the people that he has on. So not everything's gonna have a deep conversation, which we did, but there's just times where it's just you have a blockage. This isn't I don't know. It's common, and I think that anybody listening will agree that there are just times when there's nothing. There's no thoughts going through your mind, and there's a certain point where just coming up with thought-provoking things are just, it gets a little repetitive, so that you just gotta put yourself in our shoes. You know what I mean? You're getting on here, just finding random questions on the internet. I could come up with some questions, or Jared, or anybody could come with questions, but the conversation needs to flow, and it just wasn't flowing, and we apologize again. It might not be fun, but yeah. I have my own show at my college, Muskingum. Basically, every Monday, I interview. Right now, it's the football players, and next semester, or later on, it'll be basketball, and then I'll do baseball players next semester. It's pretty fun. I get to meet a variety of people and ask them some fun questions. Not just sports. I can ask some personal questions. I get a strict script, but I get to, I come with my own questions, just be in the general range of what we normally have, and it's really fun because, like I said, I meet those people, but it's also just cool talking, having people listen. We have a couple hundred people listening all the time, and that's been told it's our most popular show is the Monday shows. It's called Muskie Sports Blast, and it is really fun because I know that I have people listening to what I'm saying, and those questions, it's about the sport that's on campus, and what it usually is, it's like I said, Monday, and then right now the football games are 2 days prior, so the game happens and we bring people in, and you get to revert back to that game and before that, and then the game's coming up, so you get like an inside scoop on those athletes. And sometimes the last couple weeks I've had coaches come on, so it's pretty cool to have them to interview them. It's just cool that I get to have that show because it's a good experience. Sometimes it can feel like a job, which it really is right now, but it's a good experience because I do want to eventually have that show where it's like kind of like this, but I do want to have my own radio show. I do want to be on the radio, so it's a good experience to have the shows on Monday to work towards that, and create my own personality with those shows. So it's pretty cool to have those. Yeah, so if you ever get the chance, which obviously I don't expect you to, it doesn't change my experience, but if you ever get the chance, it's orbitmediatv.com, and you can find my shows from 8 to 9:30, and then the interviews are usually about 8 to 8:30.
During premium Minecraft Fortnite time on Mondays, I always have free time for some reason.
Well, I don't really have a choice,
I know.
but yeah, it's a weird feeling, like looking back on high school versus now, having obligations outside of school. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Well, honestly, like I've been looking back or thinking back in time. It's like as you get older, I feel like the less free it is, just in general, like as being like your soul or something like that.
yeah,
Because I've been thinking that this is one of those things I was thinking about, and it just kind of hit me. The more you learn, I feel like the more dull and insignificant. Not necessarily insignificant, but like the more you have to think about, and to me, it almost makes me like just more meh.
What obligation? Like
No, like learning,
learning about what?
just intelligence. Like I feel like the more intelligence I am, the more unhappy I am.
More intelligence you are. Like the more intelligence you gain.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't feel the same.
Because I feel like I have so many more things to think about and consider, and
That I think that's more like tacit knowledge, where it's just learned through experience rather than maybe what you're talking about, where it's
what kind of knowledge?
tacit, Tacit, where it's just gained through experience. You can't really explain it. It's just what you know, which I think that's what you're talking about, where you learn it through what you do in your life, but not actual intelligence. Like, you have to stress more about your job, more about your family, stuff like that, where
I just feel like I have so much more to think about, and I think about when I was younger, and it's like I didn't know anything about the world,
that's true.
and I just
what's
I
the
was
word?
happier. I was oblivious.
Oblivious is there's a quote. It's like something oblivious. That might be in the word, but it's just like leads to a free spirit or something. Just because you don't
Being
have to worry.
oblivious is like bliss.
Yeah, with that ignorance is
Ignorance is bliss.
That's the one I'm looking for. Where it's like the less you know, there's just less you have to worry about. That's what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like,
Because like what I've been saying like the whole podcast this evening about me like sitting in my bed and just kind of staring off into space, thinking about everything and nothing all at once. Like I've honestly been, I'm not lying, I've been doing that, and it's been bothering me because it's just like I feel like I just sit there and I just stall because like I'm exhausted, so I want to sleep, but at the same time I don't want the next day to start, so I'm stalling. but I don't want to do anything with that time. I just sit there.
What if you think about it as meditating rather than
Maybe
sitting
that's
in
what-
despair? Because
Because I've been trying to figure out like what it like I'm
I
just
think that's what you're trying to do is put your mind at peace, which is basically meditating. I think that if you think about it as meditating rather than wasting time, then it'll be even more peaceful because that sounds peaceful.
what's
Depending on how long it is.
I don't know. I guess in my head I've been thinking of it as like I'm stalling for my next day to start because I like going to work gets very. It's just
I got a question. So, is this what you plan on doing your whole life? This type of work?
probably. I would like to be able to make enough money and like maybe have side gigs and do something a little bit less.
More creative?
I don't know. More. I can be creative, but I'm gonna have to find a way to revive that part of myself.
So, you're pursuing this job, career opportunity for money?
I mean, I enjoy doing what I do, and it is lucrative depending on where you work. And at the moment, it's the best option for me, being that I'm not going to college. If you don't go to college, you basically have to get a trade job to make good money. Like, I'm not the kind of person that's gonna be a night manager at a Walmart
Right, but you
or
could
a
also.
factory worker.
There's also the startup, like entrepreneurship.
I mean,
opportunity.
that's yeah.
Although it's less reliable, but it is
Well, and you also have to have the money to start it.
true.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, granted, is it kind of about the money at this point in my life? Yeah, it is. Because like I'm at the point where I'm like, okay, I need to be thinking about the fact that I have my car loan, I have my car insurance. I'd like to move out sooner than later, and I would rather buy than rent. Because when you rent, you're just kind of throwing your money away. You're not building credit. You're not doing anything. You're just paying for a space
Right.
monthly.
Okay, so
I can see the benefits of renting, but in the town, and also I don't really want to live in this town forever.
me neither. I think so.
I feel like I have an adventurer's soul, but I don't have the means to do it, and I have a lot of people in my life that are telling me that it's not necessarily the things I want to do are not a good idea, but I need to focus on starting that career. And it's like, if I start this career, I'm not gonna be able to do half the things I want to do because I'm never gonna have that time off.
Okay.
You see, like that dichotomy.
You know what I'm gonna tell you,
Just do it.
dog. You have to if you.
Well, you know how we were
want
talking
to.
about going to Iceland?
Yeah.
As long as there's no vaccine thing, I would love to go.
Let's go.
Like, I would love to make that work.
Yeah.
And, like, you know how we've been talking about doing weekend trips? I'm
So-
in.
Dude, here's the thing. You can work for almost the rest of your life.
Not almost. I will work the rest of my life, pretty much.
You'll work till you die.
No, not till I die, but until the point where my body, like, I have to retire.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I mean. So.
I don't want to be one of those, like, I saw a thing while we were literally bowling, it was like the rat paradox or something like that. It's, go to school, go to college, get debt, get a job to pay off debt, work 45 years, retire. And it's like,
That sounds stupid.
well, that's what a lot of people do.
I know. I don't plan on.
And then they have that, like, 10 golden years where their body's still functioning enough to enjoy the fruits of their labor. And it's like, I kind of want to enjoy the fruits of my labor now.
Okay, look. Here's the
Well,
thing.
because, you can enjoy stuff so much more when you're young and fit.
Here's what I'm gonna tell you. So okay, let me ask you this again. So you said you enjoy your job right now, right? Okay. Let's say this is your career and you're making enough money that you would be happy with the money.
Okay.
Do you enjoy this? Like, would you genuinely like this? You don't have to love it, but do you like it?
Yeah, I like it enough that I would do it for the rest of my life.
So why are you stalling the night before?
Because, I mean, at the end of the day, it's still work. And granted, like, work is a part of life. Like, that's something you have. Your life has to have some sort of a purpose. And at the moment in my life, the work is the purpose. I guess it's just a matter of,
So
I don't know. Because, like, obviously not every day is enjoyable, and I think I have a fear of going into that work day and it being unenjoyable. Like, I would say I have maybe 2.5 good days a week where I come home and I'm like, today was actually a good day. I had a lot of fun.
it's not enough.
No, it's not.
But
And, like, part of that happens to be some of the people I work with, the fact that I don't know anything yet and I can't, like, when I feel a little bit anxious about, like, asking questions.
Mhm.
And there's that fear of screwing up and then that person getting mad at me, and that, like, when that person's angry, it makes me angry, and then I'm also angry at myself for, you know, messing up, even though like, sometimes you can't help it, sometimes you can, and like, sometimes I have a hard time struggling or taking all that stuff with a grain of salt, and that's what leads to kind of having a rough day.
So what I've been telling myself a lot is the mind is the most powerful tool in life,
Mm-hmm.
and that is a fact.
I
How your mindset is for the day, and I know this is the most cliche thing anybody hears, is your attitude in the morning determines your day, and I don't agree with that. I agree with your attitude throughout the day determines your day. If you say you spill your coffee in the morning, like if you're not at a desk job necessarily, but like, I don't know, you're like at a counter or something at your work,
mm-hmm.
you spill your coffee and you let that upset you for the next hour, if you thinking like that is going to be how you think every day. If you let something like that, and I'm sure you haven't had examples like this, but you saying you only have 2.5 days on average per week, that third day, unless it's something like super terrible happens in your life,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion, there's nothing like hard, like having just like a hard day at work, like laborious wise. I don't think that should be enough to put you down for a day. Like,
It's not the work.
is it the people, like you said?
Yeah, the guy that I'm working under can be very hard to work for or work with.
Yeah.
I would say that he is a more negative person than he is a positive person, and I think that wears off on me some days.
Yeah.
And, like, I found myself being a lot more angry recently.
Right.
Like, I know I have some anger issues. Like, it's not to the point where, like, I need to talk to somebody about it, but I think part of it helps that I recognize it's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I do a really good job of hiding it a lot of times. Because most people, I would say, think I'm pretty even keel. But like, I've definitely had more angry days, and I think a lot of the days that are rough days lead back to the guy I'm working with.
Right. Okay.
Because when he's miserable, it makes everybody else miserable around him.
Yeah, that's never good.
And, like, I'm not at the point yet where I feel comfortable just, like, putting in an AirPod to kind of tune it out. Because, like, when somebody's trying to talk to me, then I'm like, oh, well, this is rude. Or if I have to ask a question, it's like, well, I gotta take this out. Or whatnot.
Do you think that's enough to make you want to choose another job? I'm not saying you would at this moment, but, like, in the future, if this was
It makes-
how your job was.
You mean the occupation or the place of employment?
Place of employment.
It makes me consider it all the time. I consider it every now and then. I'm like, well, you know, I started here already. You know, I'm getting my little bit of experience. I want to get more experience before I start actually moving to look somewhere.
Yeah.
So,
And, like, so I've been working with the plumber more than the electrician.
Right.
And working with the plumber is different, completely different than working with the electrician.
Lot
This
better.
week I had better days. Like, even yesterday when I spilt that glue I was talking about all on that carpet, and it was like almost staining the carpet black. It was like a carpet almost this color of my room.
Yeah.
I mean, I was having a pretty rough day for a solid half hour there, but then that day ended up being pretty good. Like, I came home a little irritated with one of my fellow employees yesterday, but
Coworkers.
and coworkers. Yeah, sorry. Because he was being an ass, but in the end, it's like, well, all the guys kind of stood with me more than they stood with him, and we all ended up picking on him. And
Look, even if everyone is against you, you're not against you. You have
Yeah.
one person,
I
and that is you.
I think you've noticed a lot recently. I feel like I've definitely had a more negative mindset than I used to.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how to turn that around.
So my whole point, circling back to going through the routine, the repetitiveness of life, like you
Mhm.
said, the whatever cycle.
Yeah, to get a job,
Yeah.
get debt, or get schooling, get debt, get a job, pay it off, 45 years.
I think that is the most genuinely. I think that is for someone to think that that's fine enough for me. Which I'm not saying you are saying that, but for someone to say that, I think it's just stupid. Like there are so many creative outlets in life, whether that's traveling, doing your hobby, while working, which is fine, but if you never try something like that, you are gonna regret it
Mhm.
at
Well,
the end
that-
of your life, or when you're done working, because you can't do some of the stuff when you're 60.
Well, I think finding the fact that I love going longboarding and riding around on trails now, and that's something that I could do that by myself. Like I actually went by myself a couple weeks ago, longboarded,
Right.
and granted, I wish I had my AirPods with me because then I could have just thrown in some tunes and
More fun.
yeah. I mean, granted, it was kind of head clearing, just rolling around and hearing my wheels on the the asphalt and stuff, but I think it still would have been even more head clearing with the music, just kind of clear the mind.
Right.
You're thinking about the music, you're focusing on making sure you don't hit anybody, you're looking ahead and like, all right, well, I'm gonna have to bail before I hit this bridge because it's got a lip or whatever. And that's something I can enjoy during the week. Because I mean, there for a while I was living for the weekend. Like, in all honesty, I was living for the weekend, which isn't good either.
It's a terrible mindset. But it is something that people get stuck in
Mm-hmm.
because
I feel like I can only do stuff like this on the weekend.
yeah. Which in adult life that is definitely not true.
Yeah.
Like you gotta think of it this way. You get off work 4 or 5, let's say 4:30, right? You get home 5. You have, and then let's say, so it would be, let's just say 8 to 4:30 job, right? And you get a 7. We'll go 7 to 4:30 job. You get a 5:30.
So you get up at 5:30, you go work at 7.
6.
There you go.
6. Okay.
Like,
Then
holy cow, dude.
you get your 6.5, 7 hours in, so between 11 and 12, right? You get back at 5. You have 6 hours. That's a good amount of time to do something, right? Like, and you give yourself an hour, whatever, family time, stuff like that. But 6 hours, and I get that though. I've been in that situation where I'm like, oh wow, that's not a lot of time.
Well, saying 6 hours is a lot of time, but I sit here and I think, well, I'm like, all right, well, right now, I get home by, like you said, 5, eat dinner, and if I want to go longboarding, that's maybe getting out to wherever I'm going to go by 6, and then at that point, I have like an hour and a half to ride before the sun goes down. Can't really ride once the sun goes down. So you come home, and it's like, well, all right, now what am I going to do now? Because like, yeah, video games are fun, but I don't find them fun by myself. They're not as fulfilling.
Right.
I could read, but reading sometimes it's like, all right, I'm just not in the mood to read or whatnot. Like when I found that when I read, I feel better,
Mm-hmm.
but it's for some reason I like to read, but it's making myself open the book.
Yeah.
Like that's where I'm coming from right now, where I'm saying like I sit here, I'm like, well, I could read, or I could just sit here, or I should get up and I'll watch an episode of Castlevania, but no, I'm gonna sit here. Like I don't actually physically say I'm gonna sit here. I'm just like I should get up and watch an episode.
Do you get on Instagram Reels?
At that point, no. And then at point in my evening, I kind of just, I'm like, it's almost like a feeling of down. Like, you know that Sunday depression?
Yes. All too well.
It's kind of like that, but every night.
Meaning like you're dreading work again.
A little bit.
So you're just, whenever you get, okay, let me ask you this. When you get home, are you like, damn, I have to go to work and...
No, not right when I go home.
Okay.
It's usually, it's not even necessarily like, damn, I gotta go to work. It's just like, getting ready to go to bed. That means tomorrow's starting already. Like, I don't know if I don't know. I really shouldn't feel like I'm not getting enough done in the day, because I mean, I do a lot during the day.
Mm-hmm.
But that's almost the way it is. It's like, I'm like, man, I don't feel like I really did that much today. Because I look at it as just work, not like, all right, well, I was at this house and I did this. I was at this house and I did this. I ate lunch between here and here. You know, I went out to lunch today instead of eating my packed lunch.
Mm.
And then I came home and I ate dinner with my family, longboarded, played some video games, watched an episode of my show, and went to bed. Like, I do a lot during the day. I just don't account for it for some reason.
How many hours of sleep do you usually get?
Well, in the last 3 weeks, I've been going to bed later. So I'm going to bed closer to midnight most nights now, getting up at 6, so about 6. Like yesterday, I went to bed before 10:30. I was just tired. Like this week, I've been really tired.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I've been getting between 7 and 8 hours. Like, I've been going to bed. Granted, I get up at 9, but I also, you know, I go to bed at 1, 12 or 1. You know, so I get that 7, 8 hours, in which is possible for you. I don't know how much the sleep correlates, or if you're an experienced sleep has correlated to stress more or lack of sleep.
I don't really know. I feel like I've been a tired person my whole life, and it got worse as I've gotten older. And some of that probably has to do with my diet. You know, I'm supposed to try and eat gluten-free, which it helped a little bit, probably just hair. Taking vitamins that are supposed to kind of help with that stuff, and I'm not as good as that as I was when I first started. Just kind of fell out of habit somewhere, but in my 20 years, I'd kind of found that it doesn't matter when I go to sleep, I wake up not feeling refreshed.
Do you shower in the morning?
No,
You gotta
I
shower,
shower
in the
in the
morning.
evening.
You gotta shower in the morning. I'm telling you. Showering in the morning does wonders.
So,
not only does it wake you up, but
Are you a
having-
cold shower guy though?
No.
Okay, I can't take cold showers.
I can't either. I don't like it. It's the best feeling is having. I know it's probably for a lot of people. I don't know if it's the same experience, but having refreshed hair makes a huge difference, because how my head is feeling. Because I get headaches often, so how my head is feeling throughout the day, whether it's like dry or refreshed,
Mm-hmm.
it helps me just think better, and like it's less stress. I don't know what the correlation is, but just look good, feel good, like refreshed.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes me instantly.
So I think I need to figure out something in my life different from what I do right now, honestly,
Yeah.
in the morning. Because like I'll get up, I get dressed,
Do you drink energy drinks in the morning?
I wait until it's usually around 8 o'clock.
That's morning.
I've been up for 2 hours already.
Yeah, but still, it's before 10. So the shower will do that for you if you get
Okay, well,
your allocated sleep.
Let me get my
Okay.
thing in here, because I know I'll get to it.
Yeah.
So I get up, I get dressed, and honestly, I'll sit here for a second and just kind of rest my head. Just kind of, I try and process my thoughts when I get up, and just kind of sit there.
Yeah.
And then I'll get dressed, brush my teeth, head upstairs, pack my lunch, eat my breakfast, and I lay back down and I close my eyes for 10-15 minutes every day. And I think that's part of the problem. I need to figure out something where I go and I do something a little bit active before I go to work.
Mm.
Like, I don't know if it's set up my treadmill in my basement and run half a mile before I go to work, or whatever it is, but do something active. And that I read somewhere that whatever you do right first thing in the morning sets your tone for the rest of the day. It makes it gives you serotonin, and then your body craves that for the rest of the day.
Shower. But I know that's not for everyone. I'm saying that.
So
is
like, well,
what
and if I were to run, I would probably shower before I do that. But the thing with showering in the morning is I feel so gross at the end of the day. I don't want to get in my bed and make it disgusting. Like I would have to rinse off before I went into bed at least.
Aren't you dirty regardless after work?
Yeah, that's why I shower after work.
Shower twice a day.
So that's not good for your skin though, or your hair.
You don't have to wash it.
That's fair.
I don't use shampoo every day. I use shampoo like twice a week, once a
Yeah,
week.
I know you were telling me about that. I remember.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
But. So, where have you heard that showering doesn't help your skin like twice a day?
I don't remember. I heard somewhere that was like, well, I think it was more for your hair.
Yeah, it is. But that's just washing it. That's not just water, because you can get your hair wet. It's
That's fair.
same thing with sweat. It's not, sweat is natural for your body, so it's not gonna. It's just hydration. But I think you're mostly talking about that. But
Yeah, that's mostly where that was coming from.
yeah,
Like, so I mean, like I could do that. Like I could at least wash my body in the evening.
yeah, you rinse off.
Cause I mean, like, does my hair get probably pretty gross sometimes? Yeah, cause I mean, I'm sticking my head up in spider webs and stuff like that. But something good like that, you're good.
Right.
It forgets by tomorrow.
Well, if you could also do this conditioner in the morning, shampoo after to get this stuff out. But I think that is a good like
it's-
finding something different.
I need to change something. Like it's definitely a problem, and I've kind of known that for a while. It's just a matter of if I get up earlier, I have to go to bed earlier, which shouldn't be an issue, because it's like I'm already sitting there. Like I said, just kind of like.
Here's the thing: self-care, in my opinion, is more important than enjoying
It's
a hobby for another hour.
I was gonna say it's something. Self-care is also one of those things you got to start and then you have to stick to until your body's like, yo, I like this.
Yeah, and self-care isn't necessarily fitness. It's also hydrating,
Well, and like
skincare.
a lot of self-care, people I would consider to be like, working out or pretty much just working out in that sense. And I lack that drive most times. Like I'll go work out and be like, I don't really want to work out today.
I don't work out.
I know, but like I'm saying like if I went for like a half-mile run
Right.
in the morning before work,
Yeah.
like that's where I would struggle. Would be like, I'll just sleep instead. It's like no, I need to get up and do it. But that's where I struggle. Like I don't have that little voice in my head saying no, don't be a bitch, just do it.
Yeah, I think that only works if you do get that extra sleep at night. That like the previous, you've seen like go to bed at 11 versus 12 type stuff. So but like I just said, I think self-care plus even like mental health care is more important than an hour more of a hobby.
So, I definitely think my mental health struggles a lot too. Just I think I fell behind, or going from that environment of school, Waynedale being a really good environment, a really relaxed environment, and it was for me it was very social. I was very social with the people I was comfortable with.
Yeah.
And going from that to work where I was a little nervous, it was stressful trying to keep up at Weaver specifically, and almost no social interaction. I think that took a way bigger toll on me than I realized.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of my problems are, because I think back, I'm like, all right, did I do some of these things before high school or while we were in high school? Yeah, but they weren't as bad as they are now.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely I need to like be working on that mental health aspect of myself.
Which
I'm really looking forward to, like, we were talking about going on spring break, and like I got a little vacation come up here in October. I'm kind of looking at these things as an opportunity to hang out with my friends and everything, make good memories, but also to clear my head
yes.
and not like stress free. I'm taking a load off, clearing my head.
Yeah. I can definitely relate to that because the past like 2 or 3 days I've done a lot of stuff for my class and for my program. It's been stressful. Like I've been sending emails, receiving them, replying to people, and then I had a couple tests today. So it's different to your like labor, but my point was like that coming home for the weekend, specifically today, just getting a day to clear my mind. It's so nice. Like and it's definitely needed. So I think those vacations will,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
And like
definitely-
I felt so I worked out not last weekend but the weekend before, and I felt good and I wanted to work out during last week, but I don't know enough to go by myself yet. Like that's what I was telling my dad before we started recording. I was like, I really want to go start working out, and like I would be okay with going out and working on my own, but I need to know what I'm supposed to be doing.
dude, that is my problem too.
Well, because like he's showing me the workouts to do, but I've only done 2 workouts and they were both chest.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can do the stuff that you showed me. Like I can as long as you write it down and kind of like I'll write down a little description until I'm like, all right, well this is what this is called, like pulling the weights up to your going into T pose. It's all free weights, but like doing that until I know what it is by name, and then just write it down in a little book and like, all right, well this is what I'm doing today.
Right.
Like I felt good after that, and that's what I want to do. It's just a matter of I need to go enough to do all of the 3 or 4 workouts my dad has to do it.
Yeah, just gotta learn it.
Mm-hmm. Like it's a matter of learning the workout and writing it down, knowing what it is, and then being able to go do it by myself.
Yeah, I think that's a big problem with working out, is just knowing what to do it right.
Mm-hmm. Well, I honestly kind of wish I would have taken the weightlifting class at Wayndale.
Yeah.
Just because then maybe that would have been opening a door. Like, I did lift a little bit freshman year, and I was having my friends show me how to do it, and granted they showed me what to do, and they were kind of showing me how to do it right, but I needed that person to actually guide me,
Instead of just like
telling me.
telling you and doing what they're doing already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like in high school, it's kind of clout lifting. You're maxing out more often than you should, and you're benching all the time. It's all bench. Even though bench is awful for your shoulders.
Yeah. I don't like bench. I think
I'd like to know what my bench is, but beyond that, I don't really care.
this is a little bit of a tangent about that. I think that being super into weightlifting is great. Like, that's your hobby. I get that. I respect that. But I think that people that, one, ostracize people, not for being unhealthy. Like, I get that, wanting people to be healthy. But the fact that people just, if you don't go to the gym, you're automatic, you know what I mean? Like, you're automatically not cool or whatever. Or if people try to go to the gym, then they make fun of you for, not doing it right. And that diverts people from wanting to go to the gym.
There's a
It's
stigma
a
that
huge problem.
that people are judging you when you go to the gym when you can't lift good weight or enough weight, or that if you don't know what you're doing.
Well, the problem is,
Because like even like I'm just going with my dad and my brother, and I'm like nervous about it.
Yeah, I had that problem. But the bigger problem is on social media, that is a thing. It's not just a fear, it is actually a thing, because there are videos that people just making fun of, like, sending people videos of people doing a workout wrong, and they post on social media and just make fun of them, which literally diverts people from going.
Yeah.
It's stupid. It's like this gym cult. There's a good side to the gym and there's a bad side. It's just annoying. The gym bro meme or whatever. It's like,
Well, kind of segueing back into the mental health thing, like kind of wanting to go to the gym is like I got a lot on my mind recently. I did break up with my girlfriend of a year in a couple months. It's like that's a big deal, and it needed to happen. It was going to happen. But that's still somebody I cared about for a year and 4 months. You can't really just turn that off right away.
right.
And it doesn't help that her family works at the company I work at, and in the construction field it's very normal to pick on each other. Like, it's a friendly banter, but after I don't really want to be picked on that yet. And like if it's somebody that I know and I'm cool with, yeah, sure. But if we're not close, I'm done.
Right.
And I've been dealing with a lot of that recently from some specific people, and it's like, all right, okay. And like that's one of those things that I'm just ready to clear my mind of it,
Right.
and I don't have that person to go to the gym with me yet. So I'm sure I could ask certain buddies, but it's one of those things where I'm like, all right, I trust my dad to tell me what to do, and like he's gonna tell me how to do it right, and he's been lifting since he was in high school. You know, he's probably figured some stuff out by this point in his life.
Yeah.
What's gonna hurt you and what won't, hopefully.
He's definitely got the experience.
So
That is kind of annoying that you get that banter.
well,
at
and like
work.
I'm a Christian, so like we were waiting till marriage. You know, it's kind of the thing.
Yeah.
That's what we were doing.
No, I get your point.
And
I assume you. people
that's
making
one of
jokes
yeah,
about-
they're kind of making jokes about stuff like that, and it's like,
Yeah.
all right. I don't feel like it's the right place just to tell a guy to his face to F off, because one, that's proving his point, two, is saying that I can't take a joke,
Right.
and when I don't have anything to nag back at him with, it's like I just have to take that.
Yeah.
And when it's multiple, like there's only really one guy at the moment that's really saying it. Most guys are, you know, they're a little bit more funny about it. Like the guy I was talking about earlier with the astrology girls.
Right.
Like I know I mean he's being serious, but at the same time it's in a playful way. Like I like that guy, so he's okay.
There's a time and a place for jokes, and
Mhm. Like,
also
it was
a
like-
manner to do it.
Yeah, like if I don't respect you, don't do it.
Right.
Which granted, I don't tell people who I respect and who I don't, but you should kind of be able to get an idea.
I also think that people should know who they can joke with, and I assume it's just ignorance that they're doing it. Like deep down, there's just ignorance that they assume they can.
The guy that
make a joke to anybody.
is in mind at the moment is very arrogant.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
So
That's not fun at all. I think that's like it's a huge problem with in the workforce with like older people working
this
with
guy's
younger,
like 26.
older than you is what I'm
Oh,
saying.
okay.
Like just being older than you, no matter how much older, they just in the workforce they think that they have the superiority, which they might, but even if they do, there's just things you just shouldn't say. You know what I mean? And people abuse that a lot in the workplace.
Yeah, well, this guy, this is the same guy I was talking about where I was kind of irritated with him for like he made one or two comments about that yesterday, and then I was technically like the lowest person on the totem pole or in knowledge there yesterday, and he was picking on me for that. And I'm thankful because the other guys, that's when we all started kind of ganging up on him, and they were kind of sticking up for me there.
Yeah.
Well,
it's one thing if he's actually trying to constructively criticize you, but it's another thing if he's just straight up dissing you.
he was just being an ass.
Right.
And so that was irritating, and that's where I was struck. Like if I could have shot back. Like there was a couple times I shot back.
Yeah.
And nobody says anything because they knew he deserved it.
Right.
But he was just following me around because he didn't have anything to do. And it's like, dude, just go bother somebody else. I'm trying to do my job.
Yeah.
Like, or just go sit on your phone if you don't have anything to do, or leave. If you're just gonna stand here, don't be on the clock. Leave.
Right.
Like you're using money that can be used for my raise.
Is he gonna listen to this?
If he does, he can take that problem up with me.
Good.
You know what? Sorry, I guess I didn't say it to your face because I was trying to be a nice guy, be cordial in the workplace. But this is my own not private, but it's like my own place to vent.
Yeah.
If you have a problem with it, you can tell me, and we can talk it out or whatever. But now you know. You should have been able to tell when I just didn't really laugh at some of your stuff and proceed to keep doing what I was doing, or straight up ignored you. Because when I go silent, it's when I'm pissed.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good. You face it head on.
Well, if he listens to this and I regret it, I mean, so be it. But
Shit happens. Just gotta deal with it. Like. Trying to click my thoughts.
I know I'm struggling.
Well, no, I do. I think that having somebody to criticize like he has you to criticize. I think that he's literally just finding.
Well, it's
a
not even
way-
that. It's not even that he was criticizing me. He was just trying to point out that he was better than me.
Right. Okay. So he's just literally finding a way, or finding somebody to put down.
It was
for
like he
his
was
benefit.
demeaning me. He was
Right.
demeaning me.
I think that is one of the worst qualities.
When I
you
was
can
like,
have.
and I'm sitting there like, dude, you don't even barely know me. You don't know what I did to get where I am at the moment. Cause like, I learned to do most of the stuff you're doing. Granted, you have 6 years of experience over my 4.5 months.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I can do it. I can
Yeah.
get it done.
Right.
And now I'm learning how to do trade stuff, which you don't know how to do.
Get a leg
So
up on
my,
it.
I was gonna say, so my 4.5 months of, like crew work, and then it's about 1.5 months at this point of crew work or like trade work, almost equivalent to your 6 years, in my opinion. Which that's kind of self-centered, but it's like, I could rough in a house. I think both electrical and plumbing, except drains. I don't know how to do drains or copper.
Mhm.
Like those are the only two things. And the plumber was like, "We're gonna get you, doing some copper, and then I'm assuming at some point he'll show me how to run a drain because you got to have so much slope." Which if he told me like, how to read my level and then how to, like how much I have to drop in so many feet or whatever,
Mhm.
I could get it done. Like I know how to glue all the pipes together, and I can use a tape measure and a sawzall.
Not as good as him though.
No, because he has 45 years on me.
Yeah.
This is the plumber,
Oh, okay.
not the
Yeah.
not the other guy.
Right.
So
Yeah. Well,
I got a lot. I have a lot to work on. I think that's probably why I just sit here, because my mind is just turning off. Almost meditating before I go to bed, because like I said, I'm like thinking about almost nothing. I'm just sitting here, just kind of staring out into space.
have you thought about listening to like not motivational podcasts, but like I don't know, you know what I'm saying, like advice, like motivational kind of podcasts where it's like I guess like educational, like
Life advice.
life advice, like those books that a lot of people read that are just like knowledge books. They're not like novels. They're like like business
Life coaches.
life coaches, like that. Have you
Yeah.
ever thought about listening to the podcast and stuff like that? Or do you not think that you need like professional advice about this?
I think it would probably mean a little bit more to myself if I just figured it out on my own.
Yeah.
And then also, I feel like a lot of those people are full of shit. They're
Yeah.
just sitting in an office, thinking of ways to make people motivated, even though when they're not doing it themselves. I get that from Rogan. Honestly, he's like, most of these people that write these motivational books and stuff are full of shit.
Yeah. I would never read one of those like motivational books. I'm more talking like, and I have no idea how you would even find like a niche like this in the podcast. I'm talking about specifically for like life
Like a
advice.
self-help book.
Self-help, life
I did
advice,
read one of
not
those.
professional like
So-
work stuff.
Maria's dad, Chris, gave me a book to read, and it took me a little while to read it because it's not something like I was like, oh, I want to read this.
Right.
It's like I was reading it because
Like a chore.
well, he wanted me to, and like after a while, I was like, this is actually kind of helping me, and like I realized a bunch of stuff about myself, but it's not a book I enjoyed reading.
Right.
Like it didn't help me yet, but it's not something I would read again, and I don't think it's not something I'm gonna look forward to read. And like, if I'm gonna listen to a podcast while I'm at work, because I only really listen to them while I'm at work, and I just started doing it again. Like I listened to the whole Aaron Rodgers podcast in the last 2 days,
Yeah.
and it was a really good podcast. I really enjoyed their conversations. I realized me and Aaron Rodgers have a decent amount of stuff in common.
Yes, sir.
And like, if I'm gonna listen to something like that, I'm gonna listen to something I'm gonna enjoy, because it helps. Not necessarily, like, it's not like I need help making the time pass, because the day goes by pretty fast. It just I don't know. It keeps my mind working through the day. If that makes sense, because I'm thinking of stuff while they're talking. Like it's almost like I'm a part of the conversation. I just can't add to it.
Yeah. So what about like therapy? never considered that?
I mean, I've considered it, but I don't know. I probably should, but I'm not going to, honestly.
Yeah. Not even like those online therapy things. Not for you.
No, I mean, I guess it could be, but I don't. It's not that I don't think I need it or that I'm better than it. I feel like I have a pretty decent. Like I'm doing a decent amount of like self-exploring. Like I'm figuring stuff out about like why I am certain ways I am. Now, obviously, there are things I can't figure out. But I'm slowly piecing it together, and I think it's just a matter of then working out how to fix it. But in reality, it's just kind of facing whatever it is.
Yeah. You want to do it yourself, your own way.
Yeah, and I think that probably is something that's not as, like just being independent. That's something important to me, but at the same time, I like being dependent as well. Like being, and not just dependent, but like being with others.
Here's what I think your main problem is.
Okay.
I think you get caught up in the monotony of work, home, sleep life, the repeating cycle, and I think that you are afraid that you're going to get trapped in that cycle.
Oh yeah, I'm terrified of that because
for the rest of your life.
I sit here and like I think that's why the fact that I don't have the car I wanted to own eats me up inside. Like I just I cannot get over that because I think I feel like I missed that one shot. Because I look at other people's lives and I'm like, all right, this person's like, yeah, I saw this awesome car and I just bought it when I was younger, you know, or I wish I wouldn't have sold this.
Okay. Look,
So
I'm gonna give you some advice. That is true. You did miss out on an opportunity, and I think you have to admit that. But you also have to realize, like I said, shit happens, and I'm not saying
Yeah.
forget
Well,
about
and-
it, but it's not a huge deal.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
when like I don't know why I can't get over it. And I think it has a lot to do with you saying like I feel like I'm gonna let life slip by. And the problem is me worrying about it so much I'm just gonna let it happen.
Yeah.
Like that's how it always goes. So I think I'm trying to be I guess it's not spontaneous, but in like you saying, you know, if we can go to Poland or Iceland, let's do it. Let's make it work. Like that's the only way it's gonna happen, and I'm just gonna have to be like, hey, I'm taking off work.
You have to.
'Cause I mean, like that. I turned in that week for the spring break, and I'm like,
yeah.
like I asked me, he's like, I don't know how this, like if I'm taking unpaid, I don't know how it works. This is gonna like look bad on me. He's like, well, or I don't want to make anybody unhappy. He's like, well, I'm not happy because we need you and you're gonna be gone, but if you put in a slip, it'll probably get approved. I'm like, all right, well, eat a bag.
Well,
Not
yeah.
really.
You can't. You like I said earlier. You were the only person that you have to prove yourself to.
I was gonna say I need to look. Since I've graduated high school, I've had a problem of not looking out for myself more than I'm looking out for the company I'm working for. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because like when I left Weaver, I was like, oh, I should really help stick it out with him and help him get through this period of like trying to transition to this new system. And my dad was like, dude, no, you don't have any obligation to that. I'm like, you have a point. Like I don't know I can't process that in my head that I'm not obligated to any company.
Right.
Like I could leave the company I'm at right now and apply. Well, I wouldn't leave until I applied and got another job, but because there's an opportunity for me right now that I could go and apply to this other company and they would not necessarily, but like I could have the opportunity to have my own work truck, have all new tools and all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, for me at the moment, it would be where the pay is because I've been busting my ass trying to get back to where I was at Weaver, and I'm not there yet.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been almost 6 months, and it's bothering me.
I think that another thing that I tell myself, not everything, well, there's two parts. Not everything's going to go your way.
Mm-hmm.
And when things don't go your way, you got to be like,
I think part of my problem is I feel like I have to be prepared to deal with that.
which you do, but it doesn't have to be this huge, depressing, gaping hole in your life. Like, every bad thing that you think, it doesn't have to be this terrible thought. You can, okay, let's say you do get a pay raise, but it's not as much as you want. Let's say that happens though.
I was doing that because that's what happened.
Okay, so it happened. You got to be like, okay, but I did get a pay raise.
Mhm.
You
Well,
were making more than I was.
Uh-huh. I need to ask what steps I need to take to be able to get another raise at the moment.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna bust my ass to try and get that other raise.
Right.
Because I'm like, I need more money. If I ever want to move out of my parents' house and own a nice little house somewhere, and I'm okay with having a fixer-upper. You know, I know how to do all of that, so I can do it all myself. Or
Right.
have my dad come help me do it, or my brother, and you know, I'll pay him or something like that.
Right.
But like I can do that all myself. So that's the goal, is to find some little fixer-upper. But I can't do it on the money I'm making right now.
Yeah. So, do you plan stuff out, like writing stuff down?
No, not really.
I think it's not a terrible thing, but like maybe writing down, like, I know Logan Paul does this. He writes a lot of stuff. He has this like journal like that he
Mhm.
just writes like a bunch of stuff in. And I'm not saying do that, but even if it's just collecting your thoughts in your brain, be like, I need, like, this is something I have to do. I have to go ask them that.
Okay.
But don't make it this like huge like anxiety inducing thing. Like,
Yeah, that's in situations like that. I've always been like, that makes me stressed. Like, you know, the best example of this, I guess, would be like, you know, you're sitting in class doing you haven't done anything wrong in 3 years, and they call you to the office, and you're like, oh shit, I wrote a bad word on the bathroom stall in 3rd grade.
right.
Maybe that's what they caught me for.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
not necessarily, like those thoughts would flood my head real quick. That's not what happens anymore.
So it's just the overthinking.
But like I go to ask the question, and I'm like, all right, how am I gonna word this? It's like, I should just ask the question, just be straightforward. But in the moment, I'm like, oh shoot, and then I run out of time, or like somebody else will get there, because I don't want to ask that in front of a bunch of other people.
Oh yeah, 100%. Okay, so the other day, I guess it would be yesterday, Thursday, I missed a meeting for my organization. First time I missed a meeting in 2 years. So I was
For what organization?
my radio program.
For in 2 years.
This year and last year.
Oh,
It's the
okay.
first time I missed a meeting in these, you know, and I didn't even realize it until 5 o'clock. The meeting was 11:45, and the biggest thing was nobody texted me telling me, hey, like, remind me. Anyways, I was eating at the dining hall, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot that I had a meeting today. I texted the president. I was like, yeah, I texted Biden. No, I texted the president of the organization. I'm like, hey, this is my bad if I did, but did I miss a meeting? And she's like, yeah, you did, but it's okay. Just make sure to come next week. And we were just a little stressed, but my thing with that was, I was like, okay, it's the first time I missed a meeting in the last year and however long. I gotta be like, oh well, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like,
That, honestly, that's kind of the attitude I had after I realized it was gonna be okay with that glue.
mm,
I learned my lesson. Oh well, it happens.
yeah,
Like, you know, I'm gonna make it right, you know, because that puts a little bit of extra work and stress on the crew leader there. But yeah, I ended up making myself have that. I guess I didn't make myself have that. It just kind of happened. I was like, oh well, you know. Thankfully, the guys I was working with were kind about it, and they weren't like, you screwed up, you're gonna blah, 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 blah. Stuff like that.
yeah. The other thing, going off of another big thing I'll say is that my mom tells me this all the time, and I know you know this, but money is not the number one priority. Although you do need money for your situation to move out and stuff, it's not this thing where you should be like, oh, here's actually the biggest piece of advice that I tell myself: if it's not putting you or anyone you know in jail or killing you or anyone you know, it really is not a huge deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if, and knock on wood. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. You ever went bankrupt or you were in debt or whatever?
Mhm.
You're not dead. You know what I mean? There
You can
are
always change
ways.
your
There
names
are,
and move states and evade taxes.
yes, but there are ways to work the system
Yeah.
to, and this might not be a good example, but there are ways to work the system to get that money back and to get back on your feet. And that is the worst case scenario.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get the pay raise that you want. You made more money. You're not losing money. You know what I mean? And there are ways to make more money. You know what I mean? And relating back to your cycle, let's say you let a day go by. You know what I mean? Which I know you have. You let a day go by. You're doing jack shit. You're like, okay, oh well, not a big deal. I'll get some rest tonight. Go to work. Let me think of something I can do tomorrow that will be fun or that I'll enjoy. Like, I love reading. I know you mentioned reading, but having that thing to look forward to the day of or the night before, where you're like, oh man, I gotta wait till tomorrow. That might not be a bad thing. You know what I mean? That builds up the excitement,
Yeah.
and then you have that excitement throughout the day. You're like, oh my gosh, I can't
See,
wait to get home to do this.
At the moment in my life, I don't feel like I have anything like that. I mean, a little bit longboarding. There are days I'm like, I just can't wait to get home and longboard. Like today was kind of one of those days because I had those new trucks come in.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, dude, I was so excited for those because I bought those ones right there, wrong size, couldn't ride the new board. A week
Yeah.
later, got the right stuff in, and now I rode the board, and it's like, yes. It's like I have some stuff, but most days I don't. Like I need to find something to set. Like, all right, I'm going to be excited for this or something like that.
Yeah. Well, another thing is that's why I said money isn't everything, because I'm willing to spend, like you told me you're willing to spend however much to get that longboard or the whatever stuff that comes with it, because it'll lead to something that you enjoy. And it's the same thing with I buy books because I know that I'll have that to look forward to enjoy. And I think longboarding is something, obviously, like you said, that you'll look forward to.
Mhm.
But there are
Like-
different things, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You just gotta find it, and I know that you've been trying to, but
I think I gave up some of my little hobbies here and there that I did when I got home. Or probably more so when I started my Kidder in Town and Country job because I lost that section of my evening. Like I lost that enjoyment in some of these hobbies because I didn't feel like I had the time. So I wasn't getting home till 8:30, 9 o'clock at night some nights.
like what hobbies?
Like I wouldn't. That's kind of around the time I stopped reading in the evening. I didn't do that all the time. Like if I had a book and I was really into it, I would read. Or if I got a new book, I'd pick it up, read a couple chapters,
Yeah.
read a quarter of the book, whatever it happened to be. Like I would read a whole lot, or even watching YouTube or TV shows. Like I think part of my problem was I felt like I ran out of time to do that, and then I had that 15 minutes and I filled that with Instagram. Now that's a little bit of a problem.
Then at least 20 and 30 minutes.
Yeah, I'm finding that I did that more often than I thought I did since our last podcast. I've been a little bit more cognizant of it.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of mental recoup from the last 2 years.
Elaborate.
Like what I was just saying, like, I feel like since probably I started my job at Kidder in Town and Country, I let go a lot of my little hobbies that gave me things to look forward to in the evening.
Yeah. Yeah, I also, well, social, like, I don't know the word, like, doing stuff with people or even your family, that's something, to look
Mhm.
forward to, like.
Well, I think me and my family need to organize like a weekly game night or something, because if dad and mom are upstairs watching TV, it's usually Forensic Files, and sometimes that gives me the heebie-jeebies, and I'm like, I don't really want to be watching this before I go down to my basement bedroom that's secluded and pretty much soundproof. And if grandma has the remote, she's watching some sort of game show or Little House on the Prairie, and it's like, no. So like me and Garrett are always in our bedrooms.
Right.
Because like, why would we, granted, enjoy the family time, but it's like, if it's not enjoyable for us, not necessarily like, what's the point, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like you're not.
So-
I don't want to force something if I'm not gonna enjoy it. Then I'm just gonna remember it poorly.
So I'll give you a great example.
Okay.
So, Landry's family,
Mhm.
right? There were times where that felt more of a family, like going over there than it was at my house
Mm-hmm.
because they had weekly game night.
Really?
Yeah, and I participated and it was really fun,
Mhm.
and I could tell they were competitive. They were getting into it, and they were connected as a family, where they all loved each other. They spent so much time together. They loved the family time where they would look forward to and plan stuff, and she would tell me that she was excited for stuff like that, where it's you are that connected to where sometimes you would want to be with them more than your friends,
Mm-hmm.
which I feel like that might like you said
See,
might be a good
That's
thing.
another part of my life that's just been lacking for like the last 10 years. The
Right.
last 10 years of my life, my family has been super disconnected. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
And that's not anything that any of us could have controlled.
Just happens.
We're just something we need to work on. I don't know if I'm the one that needs to take that step and like do that. Like that's been on my mind for a little bit. And you're gonna do a family game night like once a week.
Mhm.
Make it a point to do it once a week. Find a day to do that, and play whatever. You know, go out and find new board games or new card games and just play. Do something as a family. You know, do a family movie binge. You know, my mom doesn't like a lot of movies, but I'm sure we can find something.
Yeah, I think for sure you can.
Like it's, I don't know. It's hard in that sense because it's like, well, dad's also like, he wants to come home and relax on the couch or whatever and watch a movie, or watch Forensic Files. Like I said, gives me
Not
the
interested.
heebie-jeebies a little bit.
Yeah,
I
it's
don't know.
a different taste, for sure. I do think that's a good idea though, for you to do
Mhm.
that, or find any way to
Well,
do that.
quick callback to when you were saying like considering a therapist. Another reason why I don't consider a therapist is because I have this, not even just this outlet, but like I have these kind of conversations with you and Alex.
Right.
Like you're and Colin, you guys are the big three that I have these kind of conversations with, and these are the times where I'm learning that kind of stuff about myself.
Yeah.
And you know, I have you guys to help me kind of work through these problems, and it's like, you know, I don't even need a therapist.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, you guys are giving me decent advice, and I'm coming up with ideas how to fix it, and I don't have to pay for it.
I think that that's true.
Yeah.
I think that being more, and I know work is a schedule, but
Mhm.
just having routines in general helps a lot with
Yeah.
mental happiness.
And I'm real quick, just I don't have anything against therapists. I don't.
Yeah.
I can see where their value comes in, but I don't have any problem being open with you guys, and I don't feel like I don't feel like you guys are gonna judge me for anything that I say. So that's why I can feel like I can just talk to you guys, and that's where I feel like that's where people go to a therapist because they don't feel like they can talk to the people about
That's a good point too.
what they need to talk about. Like that's why they're going to that person that has no connection to them at all.
Right. But like talking about the routine is tracking back to that because I do think that people giving advice needs to be constant. You know what I mean? Like reminders help a lot. Seeing something written down, hearing something constantly, weekly, whatever. You can't just tell somebody something one time and expect them to integrate it into their life.
Mhm.
They might, but I think a weekly reminder, which is why counseling can be good for some people, where they have that weekly 1 hour slot or whatever, where they can get all that stuff off their mind. So I think constant reminders is a huge thing, which is, like I said, a schedule is a huge factor, which I need to get into, but I don't know. I'm so lazy where I don't feel like writing stuff down all the time, but it might help.
Yeah,
I don't know. Life stuff.
life's a mess.
Life is a mess.
Dude, this is the perfect name for this podcast.
Life's a mess.
Mhm.
Yeah, it is. I was talking about whenever Jared left, how chaotic some of these pods can be, just because either there's so much conversation and then dead air. You know what I mean?
Like I feel like once we broke the ice on this one, it was good.
Yeah.
It struggled for that first half an hour.
I think we all just like didn't have a thought.
Yeah. I think we were all kind of like blank-minded from bowling. A little bit. There wasn't a whole lot of conversation while we were bowling.
There wasn't. I mean, it was fun though.
I mean, I was dancing around, but I was like almost. I told Ryan like I didn't really know what to do with myself. Like I felt out of
Dude,
place.
The funny thing is, on the way here, I was thinking, you know, I'll try to keep this short, but this whole like experience with college and seeing people, you know, I was at the girls soccer game for a class, and I have this guy that, you know, when I see him, you know, I dap him up and we talk for like 5 seconds and we go on our way. We hung out at the game, and we'd have conversation where it wouldn't be anything personal, but we ate lunch last week and we were just talking about like transferring ideas and like different schools and how there's different opportunities and, you know, just banter, stuff like that. But at the game, it was all about the game, you know what I mean, like what was going on. In bowling, it seemed like that same way, but on the way here, it's funny, I was thinking of things. I was like, I want to have like conversations. I want to, you know, say what's up to the guys.
So-
And I'd be like, I want to have a conversation about whatever, but I couldn't think of anything.
Well, and I think Ryan seemed off.
I think we all seemed a little off. I don't know.
I mean, I've definitely had a lot on my mind, and I was looking forward to this. It probably didn't help that I downed that rain before we went in.
Yeah, Jared. So you can't bring in food
Or drinks to
drink,
the bowling
outside
alley.
food or drinks in the bowling alley, which is
And I had just opened a rain orange dreamsicle.
yeah, like a minute previous, and then we saw the sign. We tried to sneak in, but
Well, I didn't. I just stood in the foyer and chugged it.
Yeah, not a great idea.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think you're right. We were all just a little bit off.
Yeah, I think. I don't know.
None of us had the spark tonight.
Yeah. I don't know. I think there's certain things like bowling, or physical activities where it's a lot of banter because, you know, it's a competitive thing. I'm trying to collect my thoughts, like, but there's also another place where you sit down like at a restaurant and have that conversation, which we were doing when we went to Oak Hill
Oak Hill.
after we got
I had a lot
jerseys.
of fun at Oak Hill.
Yeah, we just talked and joked around and stuff.
So, real quick,
Yeah.
that's kind of why I wanted to get you into the longboarding, because that's what we do when we're riding.
Have conversation.
Yeah, like as long as you're all kind of like cruising in the same little pod, you can have a conversation. Like, granted, do I play music? But I'll turn it down or pause it while we're trying to talk.
Right.
But like, that's one of the things I think I've enjoyed the most, is when we're all cruising, going decently fast. You know, you're cruising at a decent speed, and you're just sitting there having a conversation. Like me and Alex, like I said, we rode to Holmesville on the Fredericksburg Trail, and I mean, we had an absolute ball. And it was we were tired by the time we got back. We weren't talking a whole lot, and we were kind of hitting a wall. We were gassing out.
Right.
But like, we were just like, damn, like just having all kinds of conversation. Like when my blood's flowing, my brain just all kinds of stuff.
100%.
Mhm.
That's why. That's also kind of like after the 8 p.m. whereas what's it called? Where your mind just goes crazy.
Slap happy.
Slap happy. Where it's like your mind can do that and then it just hits a dead wall like late at night. It's like, well, shit. What do we do? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's I also learned, what was it, a few weeks ago? I don't know how this relates, but I guess it's a blood flow where if you eat late at night, it causes more nightmares because your mind is running later at night when you go to sleep specifically. It's the same thing with caffeine.
Yeah, my body doesn't do that shit.
What?
I don't really have nightmares. Like I said on the New Year's episode, I just have bomb ass action movies. Sometimes are they scarier than others? Heck yeah, they are. But like at the same time, it's still like, yo, I hope this guy wins.
You're lucky, bro.
Dude, I know.
I have constant nightmares. Maybe there's an underlying reason, but that's what the internet said, that if your mind's running, there's a higher chance of getting nightmares.
But oddly enough, a lot of my dreams lately have been me in relationships.
Wait, what?
Like they're like action-y-esque. The main point is I'm in a relationship, and like I keep telling myself, no, I'm not doing that again yet.
Yeah. Well, I think it's
Well, obviously it's too soon, but
no, I'm saying the dream is some part of you that desires it, but you don't want it at the moment, obviously. There's
another
weird, though.
thing that doesn't help is so like, you know, Livy Ford.
Yeah.
She works at the same place I do, and you know it's courteous. Well, obviously, it's just courteous to say hi, but obviously we also know each other.
Yeah.
And so, you know, say hi in the morning, whatever, if I see her. And the guy, Dave, the electrician I work with, he makes it a point to be like, no, keep your eyes on, do what you're doing. Or like, don't look at her. I'm like,
Can't have
I
courtesy.
consider Livy an acquaintance.
Right.
Or,
So you can't have courtesy.
yeah, it's like, just
Yeah.
because I did that when I was dating Maria.
Right.
It's like, just because I'm doing it when I'm single, too, doesn't mean jack squat.
It's because people have these hyped up ideals about you can't have, like,
When it's like, I'm great friends with her dad.
right.
And honestly, I think they'd be a little weird, but, and her brother.
Yeah. Well, no, people have hyped up ideals that you talk to a girl, you're automatically wanting to get with
And
them.
it's like, bro, I'm just friends with her.
Right. Yeah, that's it's kind of weird.
But that's Dave.
Yeah. Coworkers, man.
Yeah. It is what it is. Like, I like the place I work, and I like the people that are there. Like I said earlier, at the point in my life, it's got to be a little bit about the money.
Yeah.
And it's not there at the moment.
Yeah. I do think that I am taking a class on organization, workplace stuff in general.
Oh, snap. I thought, okay, do your thought, but I thought of one of those other things I was thinking about.
Okay. So throughout this course, I will drop tidbits on if I have any advice
Okay.
for that, because one thing I have learned is, like I said earlier, money's not at the top of the totem pole for desired like qualities in the workplace. But yeah, as I learn more, I'll give you some advice.
That was a long ass podcast.
Okay, say your thought, and then Rob will wrap.
So
this
like
up.
it's crazy that like obviously I feel like I'm going not necessarily going I'm having sad little episodes at different points during the day, and during some of these little episodes, I found myself just organizing my room.
Really.
Like I don't know if you can tell a little bit, but like it's definitely a little bit cleaner than it was.
Oh yeah.
Like I took some of the clunk out, and I don't know if it's like made me feel like think a little bit clearer. Or like I think it's a little bit of mental mental self-care of like cleaning my environment, and in that process I'm kind of cleaning up my mind. Clearing up my mind.
How long ago did you do that?
It was like this week. Either this week or last week.
I did it over the last weekend. I cleaned my whole dorm. It was a huge mess. So I 100% get what you mean.
Well, like, so that shelf was falling out of the wall, so all those my little collectible cars up there were all right there. And once I was in, I was like, nah, I'll wait. I'll do it another day. I did it that night at like 11 o'clock. And I felt so much better after I did it. Like, like I'm a little bit naturally of a cluttered person. But having it less cluttered than it was, so nice.
Well, I think the bigger thing with that is you feel accomplished. Like
Yes.
getting
Yes.
something done.
Yes, I think that. You know what? Now that you point that out, that's probably what it was. That's
Right.
why I felt good about it. Cause like I was saying earlier, it's like I think part of my reason when I stall when I go to bed is cause like I don't feel like I got anything done.
Yeah.
And I think that's a little bit with the reading too. Is like, all right, I read this much tonight.
Dude, I feel that all the time where it's like,
Cause I don't get the same thing like, oh, I watched an episode of my show
yeah.
or watched this YouTube video.
Well, no, I do that because it'll be like 11, right? Say I go to bed at 11:45, 12, and I think I'm like, dude, I really don't want to go to sleep because I didn't get my reading in today, or you know what I mean, like, or I didn't get my episodes in today for my show, and like, I want to get those in, but it just doesn't work. You know what I mean? It's,
Every day, it
especially
doesn't
late
work
at
every
night.
day.
Like,
Well, I think some of that has to do with, like, you know, in the last 2 years, I got back into Lego, and it was like, dude, I completed this Lego set.
yeah, it's
in this
accomplishing something, right? And
Like, it helps that stuff that I like. It's in my interest group, the little models. But putting it all together and then seeing that complete product, I think it's delayed gratification in a sense.
yeah, oh, 100%. I think it's literally, it all backtracks into I guess self-care, but just like doing everyday things like brushing your teeth, where it's like, I'm gonna, like, you're laying in bed and you're like, dude, I do not want to get up to brush my teeth, but you gotta brush your teeth. So you get up, you do that, and you're like, okay, I'm glad I did that.
Yeah. Gross as hell, but I've honestly, like, some nights I've done that at night and I'm like, you know what, nope, just going to bed.
You've done that? I have too.
It's been worse the last, like, probably month, but
I do it on accident sometimes where I'm like, okay, 2 minutes. I'm gonna lay down or 5 minutes. I'm gonna lay down for 5 minutes, then I'll go do it.
that,
And I
well,
fall
I think
asleep.
I told you about this a long time ago too, is sometimes when I brush my teeth and then I'll go do something and it'll take me like 15 minutes to brush my teeth.
Yeah. You do what though? Like just like bathroom stuff?
Yeah, like I'll, you know, trim my nails, or I'll be brushing my teeth and I'll come, like last night I was brushing my teeth and in the middle of it I was like, oh, I'm gonna go, while I'm doing this, thinking I can, you know, multitask and like brush my teeth, and I was looking at the hat stuff on my phone, or that was 2 nights ago. Or whatever.
Yeah. So what's the phrase that you and Alex used, biting off more than you can chew, or what is it?
I don't remember.
You know, but you know what
Well,
I'm
you
saying?
said it
Like,
today?
just having too much on your plate.
Oh yeah.
I think you and I have the same problem where we want to do too many things, and then we don't make a decision, and then we ended up don't doing any of it.
Mhm.
Not doing any of it.
Yeah, I
It's a
definitely do that.
huge problem, and I know both of us have that problem. It's not good.
Well, we do that on Minecraft.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Like when we get sick of a project, we just start a new one,
Yeah.
and then we never finish anything.
Yeah, it's a creativity
Block.
block. But
I think we probably need to wrap this up.
yeah, if anybody's still listening, that's crazy, honestly.
No, I bet you there's some true fans out there. I got faith. You know, I'm
proud of you for
my
being
my
here.
faith in the listeners of the podcast has been gradually going up again. But I think, like I said, I think a lot of that has to do with people are back in school.
Yeah.
Like I've seen a growth in listeners since it's been back in school.
I didn't listen to podcasts at all over the summer.
Well, like I told Ryan when he was walking out, I was like, he's like, yeah, I'll post it on my story. And it's like, honestly, that really helps. Like I definitely see a difference when you guys post it on your stories compared to nothing.
Yeah.
Because there's sometimes like I'll be like, oh, I could say something, I'm not going to, or like I'll just honestly forget. It's like
sometimes I just don't see the posts, so you gotta remind me.
Was it? I don't know if the posts make a bigger difference or if the uploading it from Spotify and then it shows the episode and the name, or my logo, my cover art and the name. I don't know which one makes a better difference. Like I like to do the cover art ones, even though I do post the whatever it's called as well. So.
Yeah.
But anyways, if any of you guys are still here, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Those are my problems. That's how my life is a mess. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys, and I'm gonna keep this up. You know, I still enjoy doing this. Like me and him would have had conversations like this anyways, but I think it's an open avenue, and I think
it's a hobby.
well, it's a hobby. I mean, it definitely is a hobby. Because I do think about this often. Like the other day when I was saying I wanted to get that person on, I'm not gonna name drop him yet.
Right.
Build that little bit of tension. But yeah, so like thanks for listening, guys. Available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Anchor. Video is on YouTube, and I think I'm just gonna keep it to YouTube for now. On this episode, I might watch through the first, like, 'cause we had some funny moments in that first like hour might rewatch through the first hour and then find or make clips and upload that to reels and stuff. So yeah, thanks for listening. And any closing notes from Mason here?
Thank you for listening to us ramble. Jared's gonna get his life together.
Eventually.
He promises. Yeah.
Well, life together enough to keep doing podcasts at least. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks guys. I'll talk to you guys later, and
See you.
have a good evening, day, whatever you're listening to this at. Bye. And now you listeners only, coming over here, Misha.